Check. Everybody check their mic. Ben, check the mic.
Check. No. Is that working? Check.
My check.
I'm good. It's in his headphones.
Check.
They're not going to hear us. Yeah, we're recording. It's not set up for speaker.
Oh. But they're going to hear because it's quite quiet for us. They'll just hear us talking.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll have to whisper.
So don't talk like this. No, they're watching, but it's not. There's no speakers set up.
That's weird.
It's a little weird.
Are we recording now? Are we recording?
Is this live?
Yeah.
Oh, we are.
We're live now, right?
Oh, this is
Let's leave all this part in.
All right. You should be able to hear it quite a lot.
You guys probably aren't going to be able to hear anything we say.
We'll talk loud. So should we talk into the mic or not?
Yes.
So talking to the mic?
Yes.
Okay, good enough.
This up to the gym speakers?
All right.
I should do it.
Can we roll now?
Do whatever you want.
Okay. All right. So we're at MUSCLEWORKS Orpington. This is a live Bodybuilding Bollocks, Bro Chat.
No, it's
Bit of both.
Bodybuilding bollocks.
Bodybuilding Bollocks.
We're in the UK.
We're in England, yeah.
Bodybuilding Bollocks because we're in the UK. Okay, first of all, I'm sick. I shouldn't be here.
He's not actually sick. He's fucking lying.
Ian dragged me here. I've been coughing my ass off. So if I stop to cough or blow my nose, you guys all have to forgive me.
Oh, yeah.
Do a cough count. Put it on cough count.
Put it on more. Do a little more for us.
We got a cough count.
I'm fucking sure you are.
I'm fucking sick. Can you hear my fucking voice? Anyways, all right. So we've been in the Arnold. We came to the Arnold UK. We've been here since last Tuesday. Samson and James, the men of honor, competed this weekend. Samson, best look we've ever seen.
Thank you.
You had a hard-fought battle with Hadi.
Yeah.
That was a
How
lot
did
of fun.
that feel to stand next to? Bring the mic closer. How did that feel to stand next to? You know, one of the
Mr.
best
Olympia,
Olympians
man.
ever,
Mr. Olympia.
Mr.
Yeah.
Olympia.
But not just a Mr. Olympia. He's probably a top 5 Mr. Olympia.
He's one of the
Oh,
better
yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, privilege. Honestly, it's honor. You know,
Yeah.
is Hardy's aggressive on stage, man. He knows his thing. He's done this a long time. He's a master at it. And every single time, you know, last weekend or 2 weeks ago, and this, you feel his presence posing next to him. You feel it, and you're like, wow, okay.
Let me ask you: is it when you're standing next to Hadi and he's like, you can tell he's hyped?
Oh God,
Is that intimidating at all, or does it make you more hyped?
It makes you more hype. It makes you buzzing because you feel the energy from him. You feel the energy from the crowd, and you're like, you know what? Let's give him a show, and it really buzzes you out, and you're like, okay, let's go for it.
I got to ask you this question, and it's kind of a shitty one, but I have to ask.
Yeah.
When you're in your hometown
Oh.
and they're cheering for Hadi,
Oh.
is
Dude,
that a
too.
bummer or?
Dude, at first, you get like the Hardy chair, and now I'm like, damn, really? And then I heard people like, it was almost like there was this pause moment where they were like, nah, this is our town. And I'm here, I'm like, okay, that's what I'm doing. And honestly, that when you're feeling tired and thinking, man, I can't squeeze anymore, hearing that, it just fires you up. You're like, you know what, nah.
I want to ask you some X's and O's stuff. So Friday night, I thought you looked better on Saturday night. Friday night, you still look great though.
Yep.
I noticed they made you go 2 rounds, then a third round, just you and Hadi by yourselves.
Yeah.
I noticed the third round, it looked like to us that you faded a little bit and got a little bit tired.
Yeah.
Did you actually get tired, or was that
I
just...
think by the third round, you kind of like, because it's like, especially by the third round, you're starting to feel that fatigue come in a bit. Yeah. And then it's always that point where you start to notice, like, okay, I'm getting a bit hot, and you're starting to see that sweat. Yeah. And you feel a bit, no matter what you do, you almost, the minute you notice, you feel a bit conscious and go, oh, damn. Right. And then you know that, okay, you got to make it through this round. And if they put you through another one, you're like, damn, okay, this is going to end badly. So you not pull back a little bit, but you always think, okay, right, you're going to now pace it. You're going to have to start pacing yourself now. Because
so you're trying to kind of like relax a little bit, so just in case you have to go for a fourth round. Just in case you have to go for a fourth round.
Okay. So you want to say, okay, you now, you don't overpose.
Leave a little in the tank.
You leave a little bit in the tank.
But let me ask you this. So after the second round, I noticed that you started sweating too.
Yeah.
And I noticed you kind of like were wiping it away a little bit.
Yep.
When you start sweating, you're conscious of it.
You have to.
But do you need to be? Because I've heard judges say that
It
it's not
matter,
a big deal. It's
but when you already start sweating, at that point, at that time, if it gets worse, there's nothing you're going to do to stop it.
Yeah.
And you're just going to get worse.
And also when water's coming out, flatness is going to ensue.
Yeah, exactly.
But not necessarily, though. Sometimes
a lot of times.
Sometimes
you sharpen up. But if it goes for long enough, you keep posing eventually.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it as much on Saturday. I thought on Friday.
not on Saturday.
Oh, you were
Friday.
talking Friday. Okay, so I was gonna say Saturday.
No,
I
because-
thought that you held well in the in the
No,
rounds.
remember Friday night we were watching.
We commented
and
on
they
Friday.
went the
Yeah.
second round and then the third round.
The third round.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were saying on Saturday.
It
No,
cracked-
on
it
Saturday,
cracked
I
a
thought you were
little-
perfect.
It cracked a little there and then on the upper back.
Yeah.
But I've heard Tyler actually tell competitors after not to wipe them.
Yeah,
So
to leave
you draw attention
Attention
to
to
it.
it.
Right.
So just leave it.
Leave
just
it.
carry
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
pulling,
yeah.
because I know sometimes you can
You can,
this,
like, do it.
but he said you're drawing their eye to that and
No.
they're seeing it.
Right.
True.
So that kind of you weren't actually fading as far as getting tired. You were more trying to relax.
You were trying to relax,
I
but
got
I
you.
kind of like, okay, just in case you're gonna go for a round again,
Yeah.
you better have something in the tank for that. Or else if you fade at that point, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just.
All right,
it's
let
just
me
like-
ask you this question. Saturday night,
Oh,
they called out Akeem and John.
yeah.
Okay, so when they called out Akeem and John, obviously you know you're second place.
Yeah.
Or first place.
Yeah,
It's you and
you
Hadi.
know you're fighting for that.
But I'm thinking to myself, like I was nervous watching you wait to go.
Oh,
So when you're watching them pose, are you thinking like, "Fuck, man, I gotta get up there"? Like, are you getting excited
because
to go up?
obviously them two guys they're doing their own round, and you
Yeah.
know you're next.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you standing there, you're going, okay, right.
Anticipation.
Anticipation is there, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, catch your breath.
Yeah.
You're about to go for a fight. You know it's going to be, this is the final round, right?
Right.
You know they're going to pose you like hell.
Right.
So you kind of stand there, okay, right. Take your time, catch your breath, hold it together. You're about to go for a fight for your life. And it feels like that.
Are you
And
are you nervous or are you just excited?
at this point, you're excited, and you're not nervous. You're more excited, and
Yeah.
you know it's the nerves at this point starts to calm down when you're actually at the end of it.
Right.
And now you know you're in that moment in it where it's like, okay,
Right.
it's make or break time, and
Yeah.
all the training, all the posing practice, all the things. This is where it comes down to.
Yeah.
So that anxiousness of knowing that, okay, this is what you practice for. Get ready to do it, and you have that anticipation, that nerves of anticipation. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're about to start racing. Like, okay, I know that feeling where we're about to walk out the stage
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
So when they call you out, you guys are going round and round the second night. After the first night, did you think that he had the lead, or did you think you had the lead?
Honestly, I didn't know. I genuinely know. And the thing is, you try, especially after this is one thing we always try to do between prejudging and finals. Don't assume anything. Just go into the idea that, okay,
I know that's the right thing to say, but what did you really think?
I really didn't think that. It's
just
like,
didn't think anything.
don't think anything.
Okay.
Just go in like it's two different shows, and you're going in one at a time for the first time.
Did you and Mel know? I mean, look, everybody kind of knows this, that Hadi always makes the corrections.
Oh yeah.
Not Hadi, sorry, Hani.
Hani,
always makes the
oh,
corrections.
yeah.
And Hadi's going to come back better.
Oh yeah.
Because
So-
I think everybody who saw the show kind of knows Hadi was a little bit flat Friday night.
and you know he was going to come back better.
So we
Saturday.
knew he was going to come back
Yeah.
bigger flow. So you knew that too. So when you and Mel were game planning on the
You're
Friday
like,
night,
you have to be
was
better
that,
for Saturday.
That came into mind.
Yeah, he's like, okay, whatever you look like on Friday,
Yeah.
you best better be bringing it on Saturday.
Step it up. Yeah.
Saturday, you cannot go back. So when we go back to the hotel room on Friday, it's like, okay, that was just the preliminaries. Now you're going for the main battle. This is the part where you know they're going to come back stronger. You know, whatever, if they miss the mark or anything, if these flags don't fall, they're going to be better the next night. So you know you have to bring it as well. So, you know, you just ready and anticipating that.
Yeah. So the posing routine. I'm going to
May
try.
I add, that was probably one of the best I've ever seen. I was watching it and I was like,
Excellent,
This is
freaking
gonna
out.
sound
Song
real-
choice was awesome.
I might go from like 17% to 25% because of this. I got a little emotional.
Maybe a little
Dude,
more.
the
I got a
moves,
little
the moves
emotional.
were essential.
I'm telling you, I got it. No, not because it was sexual.
It was
That's what got you.
I didn't get horny, asshole.
You were feeling a little something down below, eh?
I didn't get horny.
Something's tickling. What
I
is
got
this
emotional.
feeling? This is new.
No, but I got to tell you, as somebody who's been a supporter of Samson for 3.5 years, to watch him peak on the Saturday night with that music, I got a little emotional. I was like, that,
I did as well.
It was
Yeah,
almost
how
like
could
it
you
was
not?
almost the perfect song
For
at
that
the perfect
moment.
time.
Yeah.
It was like, but I want to ask you, did you choreograph the whole routine or only half the routine? And be honest.
Okay, all right. I'll tell you what happened, right? So, you know we did the Ohio show.
Yeah.
Now, no knock on nobody. This is just, I don't know what happened. They played my wrong music in Ohio.
But it was the old music you
Yeah.
posed to before. Yeah.
So I didn't notice until the minute I got to the X.
the Purple Rain.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
in Ohio
at
last week.
Ohio,
Because
yeah.
I had this planned out for Ohio. So I was walking out, and I'm in Ohio, and I'm walking out for the routine, and I'm like, I'm hearing the music playing, but that don't sound like my song. And I got to the X, and I was like, that's not my music.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm like, what is this? What is? And I'm going to the pose, and I'm thinking,
It's last year's
And I'm like,
music.
this is last year's music. So I turn around to the back and right at that spot, I'm thinking, okay, last year's routine, how does it go?
Yeah.
And I'm literally figuring out the routine as it goes last year.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Well.
So that, and I the funny thing is, when I did it last year, I didn't win the best sports.
Oh, you finally got
I
it.
winged it.
Yeah. When you're thinking about it last youth, you know.
So then, obviously, that I kind of thought, okay, you know what? The UK one is coming.
Yeah.
It must be cause of fate or whatever that you having it here at home, your hometown and everything else. So I was like, look, it must be that, you know.
I felt like that.
I'll tell you.
For me, guys.
Because I think it was like 2022. I tried that. That was the last time I tried to do that spin on stage in 2022, and I freaking threw my knee out when I did it. And I mean, if you ever watched the 2022 Olympia, and I did that same spin, that was the last time I tried it, and my knee went on it. I was like, so I never did it again at any show since then. Yeah. And then this time when I was trying to do it, I had that same thought was in the back of my mind. So when I was like, nah, I'm gonna slow this down. I ain't gonna do it so smoothly this time. No, you guys are gonna have to chill with me.
I think it worked out well though, because the song suited it more because you're at home.
Yeah, you really did.
It was like perfect. So, all right. So the final question about this: when they call Hottie first, is it bittersweet? Are you happy because you brought your best package? Like there's a number of different things bodybuilders feel in that moment. So, like where were you in that moment?
So I know after we finished all the posing and everything else, and we go back and wait for the results later on Saturday night. I remember going back to the change rooms, getting ready to come out for the final result. And I remember going, you know what? Regardless of what happens now, I know for a fact, with all my heart, we brought our best and we've done absolutely everything.
Right.
Yeah. And there's a pride to that where you go.
There's a sense of peace with it.
Yeah, sense of peace with it. Where, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely don't care. I genuinely feel like, regardless of what happened now, we are at a point where we did it. It's done. And then when you stand there and they call you, you don't feel anything. You just feel like, great. I'm happy with this.
Can I tell you something? As a friend and a fan of yours, I was upset for you at the Olympia.
Yeah.
I wasn't upset for you at this show.
Yeah. Because
I was like,
that same.
because I felt the same thing you felt at the Olympia. I'm like, I know he didn't feel his best. So I know that's where you're like, fuck, you missed something.
There we go.
Right.
Same thing with
Whereas
Ohio.
yesterday,
Same thing,
same thing in Ohio.
Yeah.
Whereas yesterday when I saw you or whatever when the show finished, I was like, I know he's still happy.
Yeah.
So it's like you can kind of see it.
You can see it because it's almost like you come off and there's not this sort of feeling of disappointment of.
Well, you're not a failure because you did what you wanted to do.
That's that feeling right there is a powerful one. And you know who you're going up against. This is not just some
guy,
pro show. Dude, come on,
Mr.
man.
Olympia,
I mean,
this is almost like what James and I were talking about just now. It's like you can
Hold that closer, Ben, just to make sure.
Like James and I were just talking about this when we finished training. Like you can almost get caught up too much in the placings. And actually, we spoke about this in the car.
Yeah.
It's like focus on the look. As bodybuilders, like progression is everything.
Yeah.
You can't control who's standing next to you, who the judge is like, but you are in complete control of your look.
Yeah.
And if you put a look on stage that is your best ever, okay, you fell a touch short, but you've seen that progression. That's as a bodybuilder, that's everything, right?
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
we search for is to get bigger, to get better. It's progress, and I think that's the huge reward for you.
It's also like a nice sign of like hopefulness.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like I improved a lot from Columbus to here. Like, give me another 6 months.
Well,
give me till October. What am I going to do till October?
Exactly.
You know what I loved about it the most is a lot of people after Ohio were like, "Oh, this is the best Samson's ever going to look." And I'm not going to name the other bodybuilders I compared you to.
Yeah.
But there was other bodybuilders that we've seen never really hit it, and they're like, "Oh, he's like this guy. He's like that guy. He's never gonna." And then 2 weeks later, you're like, there's like this glimmer of like, "Oh fuck,
oh shit."
Yeah.
If he gets there, you're all fucked.
Yeah, maybe we were wrong. So eat my words now.
So it was nice to see like, oh shit, he can get there. So
Well, I don't know how you're feeling because we had a really good conversation backstage. Didn't we?
There we go.
And a lot of it was about that. Like you said, you actually was even encouraging me. It was like, James, are you your best that you've been so far?
There we go.
And I was like, I think I am. And I know that it's how you felt in yourself.
Yeah.
So you was actually really encouraging for me backstage because obviously, it's like as bodybuilders, you set really high expectations of yourself and you always want to not let your audience down because that's the people you care about most. And you were very reassuring to me backstage. You were like, Jay, look at what you've done so far.
Yeah, and this is the thing, because it's like, remember you said this to me after the Olympia last year, where I was really down and really bitter and really like, oh man, I feel really down about it. And you said to me that, step out of the box for a minute and look where you are now.
Yeah.
And it feels like because we're so track-minded when we're in prep and we're trying to get ready for show, we're trying to be our best, we're so focused on nothing but that.
Right.
We never stop to actually come out and look and go, but look where you are.
Well, it's funny you said that because there was a guy on the Sunday that came to see you at the booth.
Yeah.
Remember that guy?
Oh,
One guy. This guy comes up to the booth and he goes to Samson. He goes, Samson, don't give up. I'm like, and I looked at Samson and I'm like, Samson, why the fuck would he say you give up? You just took second fucking place. And Arnold to Mr. Olympia, like, you're on your way. Like, that's not. But I think people get like so caught up in the, like, oh, he lost. And that must mean he's depressed, or it must mean he's going to quit.
But shit, like, when was the last time you and I were in here? Do you remember?
Oh,
I remember.
Man. Yeah.
Ben, speak up a bit, just make sure.
So the last time Samson and I were in here
Brutal
together
Muscle.
was when we started Brutal Muscle. It was what,
2018, early 2018.
Like end of 2017, start of 2018. So now you've just walked off stage of that. Like, it's fucking insane.
But what I'm trying to get at is the people watching forget that a career is not made of one show.
No, exactly.
So it's like you do one show, you place, and then like we said, you step out of the box and you go back to your life and you see how well you've done. You see what kind of life you've built. You bought a house, you bought a car, you're raising a family, whatever you're doing. You're living, like, this is your career. Nobody, like, people online are living and dying by the placing.
Yeah.
What they don't understand is the bodybuilders are going home and they have a real life, and it's like their career, their job. They're like, they're going to go back and do it again and win another 100 grand or another 50 grand or whatever.
And that's it. And that's what I was saying to James, when we were talking backstage, and it's like, if you feel, after coming off stage, and you feel like, look, I did everything in my power to bring my best to the stage, and I know this is the best I've looked, and I know for a fact I improved, you kind of walk out there and, people are going to make you feel like you failed or something.
Right.
Yeah. And I said, what do you truly feel? Hold on to that. Don't let external noise then determine what you should feel for what you've done. If you know that, look, I hold my own heart, I did my best, and I know I did my best. I know I worked for it. Don't let that external noise then change your perception to think, this is a disappointment.
Well, that's when we said how important it is to have these conversations, because honestly, like, when you're in it, you understand.
Don't see it.
And you can understand it if you're running parallel. I'm in a position in my career where I get it a lot, where like a fifth at a show like that is considered a failure in a lot of people's eyes. But then you have to take back this. It's the first Arnold, like, for example, not trying to talk about myself, but first Arnold I've ever done. I prepped myself for it. I had one leg during this whole prep because of an injury. I managed to place where I set to place, and like I said, if you focus on that, that's all that should matter really, is the achievement itself. Obviously, of course, you want more, but then that's why you keep going, and that's why you keep striving. That's why I'll still be there tomorrow. That's why I'll still be here, in 24 hours time training.
Yep.
The ambition remains. But yeah, I feel that a lot what you say. Like, it's very easy to see things as failures.
Right.
But in the grand scheme, the stepping stones, they're not. They're all like movement up.
Yeah.
We've always discussed this about stock as a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
All you're trying to do is constantly just edge up a little bit of your stock.
Look, I'll make it very, very easy for people to understand. If a fan looked at my career, they would go, failure. Now, I won a couple shows, second-tier bodybuilder, whatever, right? But when I look at my career, I'm like, I got to fucking work out and get paid for it for 15 years.
I find it so weird.
I didn't have to go to a job. I didn't have a boss. I got to just lift weights. So to me, that's why I started doing it. So it's like, is it a failure or is it a success?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody has a different perception of what it is.
And again, you can only measure that from, as cheesy as it sounds, where was your start point?
Well, it's everybody's own perception to measure. If your goal when you started was to become Mr. Olympia, then under that guise, it's a failure.
Of course.
But if your goal when you started was, hey, I want to get paid to work out,
I'm sure yours are similar to mine. I remember, like, all I ever wanted to be was Junior Mr. Britain.
Yeah.
And it happened.
Yeah.
And then from there, you just keep going.
You keep going. Same
and then
as me.
all these other all these other little things are just other notches on the belt that you didn't ever really expect.
Yeah.
But as a byproduct of just staying consistent, they happen.
It's funny though. We have this conversation. You always wonder if you set your own limitations subconsciously, because like we've had this conversation before where we were like, when you say I just want to get paid to work out, is that subconsciously setting a limit for yourself? versus the guy who starts and says, I want to be Mr. Olympia? Is his aspiration so much higher that he trains harder?
We did have this conversation, didn't
Yeah.
we? We said
and we
everyone
never
would
have
think-
figured it out
Yeah,
which one
we
is.
were trying to say, if you are Mr. Olympia, you probably have
this
that
one
mindset.
I gotta say with you. Okay, look, when I started my bodybuilding a few years ago and everything else, all I wanted to do was to stand on the Olympia stage. That's how I come say, well, come on, my goal was just to stand on the Olympia stage once.
Yeah, I remember that.
Let me just get to the Olympia stage.
Yeah.
It didn't mean I trained any less than I did now. It was still the same drive. But then you get there and you're like, whoa, okay, I've made it. And then you push for another goal. But at the same time, the main one you already set is already there. But then it's almost like, okay, you've seen what your work has given you. And then you're like, okay, you reach for your next goal and then the next goal and the next goal.
That's what
but
it
does that
is.
make you...
But we've also talked about the third type of person who, when they reach a checkpoint, they see the next one.
Yeah.
And then they work for the next one. Whereas with someone like me, for example, the checkpoints got too big.
Oh,
So you set your own. So you set your own limitations without even knowing it.
Yeah.
You understand?
It's almost like a safety measure.
Yeah. So it's like
for
it's
your
like
own ego.
I would get to the
like,
I would get to the Arnold or the Olympia, and the stage was too big.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they always say, right? They,
self-sabotage.
like when they're goal setting, it has to be attainable, achievable. Like that
In your
kind of
mind,
shit,
it has
right?
to be attainable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like if you go, okay, I want to be Mr. Olympia. That's fine to have that as the fact, like
Right.
there.
Right.
But on the way, you have to have those other markers.
No,
to
no,
get
no,
it
of course,
to
but I'm
set,
wondering-
to check off.
I'm wondering, like somebody like Phil Heath.
Was he always Mr. Olympia?
Yeah. Did he always go?
Yes.
I want to be, and that's what I believe.
Some people do.
Yeah, I think he always said that, right? So I'm like, does it take that kind of mentality to be a 7-time Mr. Olympia?
Well, I use this as an example, and this is not bodybuilding, but I look at, like, Jordan Peters is my business partner with the gym. He's relentless in business mentality and always aims overly high, and it scares me. But then I don't think he would have the things he's had or the achievements he's made in business without that crazy high expectation.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, I think it's the same thing. With bodybuilding, you have that super duper high expectation of
Right.
yourself. That's the only way that you shoot for the stars.
But it has to be. But I think it has to be believable.
Yeah,
To
you have to
to
believe
you.
it,
have
of
to
course,
believe
of
it.
course,
Yeah,
of
to
course,
you.
of course.
That's the thing.
You can't
So-
just say it because it like
And
sounds
what is
cool,
that?
like
Yeah.
motivate yourself,
Right.
but not actually
Right.
believe it in your heart.
Right.
I'm
Right.
gonna be
And
Mr.
that-
Olympia. It's like, yeah, but then you sit there and now
I
you're
wonder,
like, I'm never
what
gonna
about
be.
this?
You know.
What about this? I wonder if the long run Mr. Olympias, like the Phils, the Dorians, the Arnolds, I wonder if they were the ones that thought it before they started.
I don't think if you
And the short run guys, like a Rami or something like that, they just got the checkpoints along the way.
But what about Ronnie then?
Yeah, Ronnie.
Yeah, Ronnie's an exception because he was like, I just wanted a free gym.
I just
membership.
want exactly. So how do you then? How do
Ronnie's
you
an
wish you-
outlier in every way.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I
but,
think
but it's the same mindset, right? You
Yeah.
gotta have that mindset one point or another. And
Yeah.
so which one actually then you count as work? Because
Yeah.
Is it just the case of like anything in life? There's just more than one way to skin a cat.
because
And I think people have different ways of like motivating themselves
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
continuing like that. You know, I don't think for one guy to like, you know, like the Nick Walkers of the
The
world
one-way works.
need to tell themselves
Yeah.
every day I will be Mr. Olympia, and they believe that. But for like some guys, maybe that's not the same. You know.
All right.
Yeah.
So James, going to you. You took a year off.
Yep. Got my tits fixed.
You got your tits fixed.
Got a
Your
tit job.
tits look great.
They're lovely now.
They are
The
lovely.
tits are beautiful.
Much
Your
more
nipples
beautiful than
disappeared,
Fouad's.
actually.
They almost did.
I noticed, like your nipple is actually like underneath your.
But I've always had that kind of underpeck.
Yeah.
No, but it's gone now. Like your nipple is gone.
They're
It's
there.
like hiding.
If you touch them,
If you
they're
lift
there.
Fouad has to lift his ass.
No, I don't. Not anymore.
I've got an old
I've
school.
lost enough weight now. I don't have to look
It's
for
an
it.
old school. It's what you call an old school hanging chest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a Jason Hutt peck.
Yes.
That's what you got.
Yes, I'll take that.
Anyway, you took a year off. Did you feel any undue or unnecessary pressure because you took the year off and people are like, well, he's going to be way better, he's going to be this, he's going to be that? Did you feel any like extra pressure after taking a year off to come back and show something different?
Only my internal pressure on myself. I don't think people had super high expectancies of me anyway, because I think where I am in my career, I'm not that top guy yet.
No,
I'm
that's
like,
not true.
No, but I'm good, but I'm not one of the first mentioned guys, so I don't think I had the pressure of, say, like if an Ian was still competing.
No, I'm not saying
So-
that though, but usually when a guy takes a year off, your fans expect, okay.
sure.
So were you thinking about that at all when you were prepping?
Yeah, but I have to say that training was running very smoothly, so it just felt like it was right.
Yeah.
So, the experience I was having, the daily experiences were all leading to me feeling okay. So my environment was good.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, no, I feel good, so there must be something going right. I was enjoying my training.
Yeah.
So I didn't really feel anything in that. The only time I felt that is when I got this knee injury.
Yeah.
As soon as that happened, I kind of said to Yannicka and Jordan, I was like, shit, this might affect me. Everything's been running smooth up to this point, and but I don't want to.
How many weeks out was the knee injury?
Oh, mate, like maybe 17.
Oh,
so I had
fuck.
the whole prep. I couldn't squat. I couldn't do
Not
hack squat.
optimal time.
Yeah, dude. I was training like.
When you need to be able to train. keep that
Yeah, I
mass
was
up.
having to come up with some ways of training that I didn't want to have to train like.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, we're all resilient.
Right.
You can't win shows unless
No,
you're
you
someone.
Didn't
Yeah.
show
You
on.
figured
Didn't
out-
show on stage.
No, you know, between clever
No, it did
posing
show.
and
Yeah.
you know, placement and stuff like that. There's always a way, but you know, in your mind, it's there.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me ask you this: did you feel, let's say Ohio and the UK, just combine them?
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were at your best at either show?
Not at a time, but then when I've looked at like a good quality picture after of say Ohio, when the proper pictures come out, I was actually pretty impressed with the look in many aspects. Some areas weren't as good as I hoped, but some areas were better.
Like what? What area? What areas did you feel like were better? What areas did you feel like needed more work?
Prejudging the Ohio, I felt like the level of like fullness and like more width was there because I had a good pump.
Yeah.
Good size in most muscle groups, good separation in the back. Again, could have been a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite open my back as much as I like to be able to, and I can see that.
Yeah.
But other areas had good level of detail and fullness. I was really happy with how close it was to be in the right balance.
Yeah.
And then I know for finals I faded. I spoke to the judges. I kind of kept pulling the water, and I wanted to come in a bit crispier on day 2.
Yeah.
Which to some people they prefer that look. I had
Right.
a few people say they prefer it.
I like to do better on Saturday night.
Exactly. So you know, midsection was better for sure. A little bit harder in the glutes, but it just takes a little bit away from the upper body kind of silhouette.
Pop.
Which when you're
Yeah.
standing next to guys like Samson, De La Rosa, you know, all these top guys. If I give up a little bit of that silhouette, it knocks me down a little bit. And also, you've got to remember that other bodybuilders did improve overnight as well.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to be hard on you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
If you were more shredded, would you beat John?
I think yes.
Okay.
I think if I was a bit more pilled, I can take John.
Do you think you would beat Akeem if you were more shredded?
No, I think Akim's very dominant with the amount of musculature he has. Akim, the only thing I've got on Akim is detail from the back. But side shots, his side leg's crazy, his arms are massive, shoulders huge. front shots are crazy, tapers nuts. I have to be honest.
In the UK, I thought Akeem was very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And the Ohio, I think if you were peeled, you could have maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those, isn't it? Because it's trying to play this. Me and Ian have spoke about this,
Yeah.
like trying to get that balance with a look that the judges like. Because I always ask for feedback, and they always say they're happy with my level of conditioning at that level.
Yeah.
They don't ask for more.
Yeah.
They're always more concerned with me being full. So then I'm like, in my head, I'm like, shit, man. I'm like trying to come in where I've got enough pop in the physique, but I know it's a slight trade-off for the level of detail because I know I can suck down more. But then when I suck down more is when I
But do you
face
believe them?
I don't know.
I don't believe them.
Yeah, who believes the judges?
Okay,
I don't
listen.
know.
No. This is why I say it.
It's hard.
Obviously, the judges are judges for a
Yeah,
reason,
yeah.
right?
Well, Paul doesn't know anything. So.
Oh, no, I don't. Yeah.
No, sorry.
I just go with what they tell me to go with.
No,
That's
this,
all.
look, this is nothing. This is not a slight against the judges. But when I look at like Samson and Hadi, for example, and this is my own biased opinion, so fucking whoever wants to bitch can bitch. When I look at Samson and Hadi, I think Samson has the same level of muscularity or more.
Yeah.
Samson has arguably, in my opinion, better shape.
Yes. But then,
So if those two things are a plus in Samson's category, where is Hadi winning? The back and the conditioning. So obviously conditioning matters.
Yeah.
Because if Samson had Hadi's level of conditioning,
sure.
maybe a bit
But I've
different story.
always-
So what I'm saying is, maybe they're telling you it's not conditioned, but the actions are saying something different.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because I always like look at the Olympia, for an example. And the way I always see the Olympia is like the top 6 are the most muscular guys.
Right.
Then,
Yeah, but they're also the most shredded.
sometimes,
Sometimes.
Well, Hadi's the most shredded. Derek was the most
Brandon.
I feel like
shredded. Brandon wasn't. He was fourth.
No, but he's won it, and he wasn't
Yeah,
the most peeled guy in that lineup by any means.
I always feel like,
Yeah.
I feel like to make the top 6 Olympia, first of all, it's a muscle game.
Yeah.
Then it comes down to, on that particular individual, is the look good for them? Because you know, like, Samson's got enough conditioning to
Get
show
into
his
that.
physique.
Yeah.
Is he as shredded as Hadi? No.
Yeah.
But he's beating guys that might be slightly leaner because for his
Right.
look. So I think it's just the individual. I think they
Right.
purely
Yeah,
judge
you
on,
play to your strengths.
does this guy look good
Right,
today?
right.
Is he good for him?
Well, let me ask the judge that's sitting on the panel.
Yeah, I was,
Yeah,
I was
Since
waiting.
you judge the Arnold.
I was waiting for.
Your
I didn't want to interrupt.
I'm building up the
Okay.
anticipation.
Yeah, I should have known.
Yeah, we get some professional
So,
feedback now.
so we're gonna ask the professional that. Congratulations on your first Arnold.
Thank you.
You,
Yeah,
did,
good
you
job,
didn't fuck it
Joe.
up. Nobody's.
I was told I didn't fuck it up. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Fucking wait.
Yeah, you're not the queen.
You're fucking Queen England here.
All right, so speaking to one of the judges in the Arnold, how do you feel about what I just said to James? Like, if he was peeled, would you guys all look at him differently, or can you speak for yourself anyway? You can't speak for the other.
I can only speak for myself, obviously, and I can also speak on the conversations that we have at the table.
Right.
It's not a matter of one criteria. We talk about it many times. It's not a matter of one criteria being more important than others, or even one criteria on a certain physique being more important than a criteria on another physique.
Right.
It's the whole. It's the sum of the mass.
Right.
If we're going to give it like a number score, for example, which is what you kind of do in your head without writing it down, whatever you kind of do in your head, like this game, you're like, okay, conditioning on this guy's a 10.
Right.
Muscularity is a 10.
Yeah.
Shape is a 10, whatever. So it's a sum of all those parts. Whoever is closest to perfect is the ultimate winner.
Okay, so take that equation you're doing in your mind, and then you look at James, and you're like, okay, muscularity 10, shape whatever, condition whatever. If conditioning is 8,
Is it more favorable to knock it to 10?
yeah, if he goes to 10, now are you like, well, fuck. He moves up past John. He moves up past, like, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Hang on.
what does he have to do to get to 4?
In my opinion,
Yeah.
a little bit more detail. Like James and I spoke just a little while ago while we were training. A little bit more detail from the front, a little bit more detail on certain poses from the back. And opening up the back perhaps a little bit more. We talked about maybe sometime it might be a change of posing for certain poses for James that might bring out certain detail or better shape in certain poses.
But it's more nuanced than that, though, right?
What do you mean?
Because it's not just what looks good on James; it's what looks good on James versus the rest of the field.
Yeah,
And
but that's
how-
what we're talking about.
Yeah,
The
no.
rest of the guys that we're talking about, John
So
and
is that
Akeem.
where the lineup matters? Does the
Yeah,
lineup
yeah.
determine
the
that?
lineup looks sometimes.
No, it does, but that's what we're talking about. We're talking about
Only
John
to
and
a
Akeem.
point,
Yeah,
though.
and John was in.
Exactly.
You're right, to a point.
Right.
But that's what I mean. I'm being specific about
Sure,
the
sure.
Arnold.
To this specific lineup.
So as a judge, Paul, when you're looking at the Arnold and you see John and Akeem ahead of
Condition
James, in your opinion, more detail in the form of more condition, or does he have to get better development?
I don't know. I don't know if it's conditioning for James. Like like the feedback that you've received in the past that maybe it's a fullness issue. Perhaps you would know that more than a judge would because you know your body. I mean, they're just telling you what they want to see.
You know what it feels like to be in the body.
They're just telling what they want to see. How you attain that look is
down to you.
is how however that your body works for that. So like. Flatness sometimes can be an obvious thing on somebody, because you've seen them full before and you know the details there when they are full, and that might be the case when you're speaking to certain judges in your case. Maybe they've seen you before in a fuller state and they saw more detail on you. That was my first time judging.
Yeah.
So I can only speak on my experience with judging you and in my experience. And so maybe it's fullness. I don't know. I tend to think it was, in my opinion, it looked like a little bit of spillover from being too full, perhaps.
Yeah.
But that was just how I look
Don't
at it.
eat too many cookies, people.
All right, let me ask Ian. He's kind of like the analyst on the panel.
Yeah, he has a good analysis.
When you saw James in Ohio or in the UK, what did you think he could do to get ahead of John or Akeem?
A bit leaner.
It's tough because we were talking about this too. Yeah, I mean, it's hard because I tend to disagree with the judges saying fuller because I don't see that in either of these shows fullness was an issue.
He looked big and full to me.
He looked very full, but I think with that fullness, like Paul said, I think he did sacrifice. And you almost set these expectations for yourself. Like we were talking about when judges have seen how crazy, kind of like gnarly James can look, or like me, where I was known for having like fucking stripped out glutes, and if I show up in like good condition, but they're not like that.
Don't talk about yourself. Talk about James.
No, but I'm saying for anyone. For James too. Like even what the level of conditioning was expected in his glutes and hams or through his midsection, things like that are traditionally known for him. Even though it was still very good, it's a little less. So then the expectation's kind of set there a little bit.
Right.
So you're the bar. So it's like you may have improved in the fullness a little bit, but you sacrifice there. So to them, it's like kind of like, but they're seeing they want more pop. Like more pop to the abs, more pop in here, but I think it's just a dryness.
Does more?
thing.
I was going to say more pop.
I think
come
it's a
with more
dryness
conditioning.
thing.
I don't think it's a body fat issue. I think there's no body fat there. I think it's a peaking issue in that whatever it was a water manipulation, sodium,
Okay, I'm glad.
whatever. And I think it was just there was a small film there that was impeding the detail in areas that are traditionally for him known as being like extremely gnarly.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. I have another bone to pick with you.
Go on. Pick the bone.
Are you coachable?
Don't think so.
You knew that answer before you asked
Because
us.
it's not. Do you know what? It's just because
Why aren't you coachable, James? All right, well, let me ask you this question before you answer. But before you answer, let me ask you this question. So let's say 10 years from now, you're retired, and you look back at your career. You're proud of your career, but you're also like, maybe if I had just
listened,
mind my own business, maybe if I just shut my mouth and let somebody take the wheel.
Yeah.
Then who knows what could happen? Like, are you going to always wonder? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
sure.
can I ask a question on top of this, though, like for you to maybe give? Do you think that was something that you always had, or do you think it was something created from bad experiences with coaches, like that, where you lost some trust in a coach, so then you're now hesitant to like fully let them take the reins, and that you have like a little anxiety like seeping in about it?
Yeah, I'll be
Is
honest.
it an experience, or is it just like you and your personality? It's always been that way.
Yeah, I think I'll be honest. Like I had such a great time with Patrick.
Yeah.
And I had a really high expectation of my first Olympia. And when that Olympia went shit.
Yeah. You lost some trust there.
Yeah, but okay, just sitting around as a group of friends with no one watching, listening.
Yeah.
Is it really smart to like write off all coaches because
No,
of
it's
one
not.
bad
But you
experience?
can only act how you act at the time, and I made errors. I acted too.
I'm not talking about working with Patrick. I'm saying, like,
but I mean, I would suggest to anyone let things settle. But I was just responsive in a way that was
Emotional.
Yeah, and I've said since I said it was kind of a
Okay,
regret of mine.
so fast forward now with a little self-awareness on the subject.
Yeah.
You know?
do you think you'll work with another coach?
Yes. Or do you think you could, even if you know, okay, the trust was lost a little because of a certain situation, but I know that like you can't throw, the bath with the bathwater, whatever the fucking that saying is,
The baby with the bathwater.
Baby with the bathwater. You said earlier, I was trying to use that.
Paul doesn't know this.
I've never heard
No,
that.
it was Ben said it.
Don't throw the baby away with the bathwater.
Yeah.
You never.
I've never heard that.
Honestly,
saying
I
before.
think it's just a clicking thing, isn't it? Like, I'm a people person, so if I feel myself gravitate to someone and click, then I
agree 100%.
I respect them and I listen.
Yeah.
If I feel like it's a con, I'm gone. I'm gone.
I will take like
No,
a good vibe and a good relationship over someone that's like maybe 10% better coach every single day of the
For
week.
sure.
No,
You
but
know?
we've already established
And someone
that.
you're eager to
We've already
impress.
established this in previous podcasts that you almost have to put your coach on a pedestal
100%.
to
Definitely,
be able
because
to
you have
trust
to.
them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you have to.
You have
Like
to
you
believe
might think Ben is an amazing coach, but because you're friends, it's hard
It
to put
changes
him in
the
the place.
dynamic.
It's hard to put him in the
Yeah,
place.
you
that
definitely need to
put him.
believe they know more than you. Otherwise, why would you ask them?
Yeah.
If you're too close, it's kind of like when you work with Ben.
Well, the first time
You
I was
worked with Matt the first time.
100%. I've talked
They
about this.
became friends, and then he couldn't really.
I saw
work
more
with
as
him.
like as a peer, and
Yeah.
like my career was at that point, and I just thought like,
Yeah,
I
and-
needed
and-
something different,
and-
somebody that I looked at and I was very eager to impress. you
Like
know?
Patrick.
Like Patrick,
Right.
And you know Patrick, like
He's a great coach.
And one, he also has this like
dad vibe.
dad vibe
Yeah,
to
you're
him.
kind of like, I don't want to let it down. He might tell me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But there's also, it's not even just the telling off side, it's like a comforting side of it as well. There's
you
both
feel like
that
you
comes
can
with it.
actually invest.
Yeah. So there's
self.
both that comes with that with him for sure.
All right, so going back to Darnold, you took 5th in Ohio, took 5th in the UK. What is any of that disappointing to you? Is it okay because you're just kind of feeling your first shows back out after a
It's
long
only
while off?
disappointing to me because I know I could have been a few percent better and other people were at their best.
Right.
And I think I can beat a couple of the guys if I'm my best as well.
Right.
And that's it, really. I know I can't win yet. I know I'm not of that caliber, but I could have, I think, eked maybe a place or two.
Yeah.
We did skip the question if he's coachable and wants
I'm
to
not
work
done
with
with
someone.
that.
Okay. I thought you gave him a pass.
Giving him a
on that, like,
breather on
I
it.
want an answer to this too.
And again, like the goal for me at a big show like that is always like to get that top 5.
Yeah.
Because I feel like as long as you get a medal around your neck
Yeah.
and you can get in the final picture and shake Arnold's
Yeah.
hand, you're like, thank fuck I turned up.
I got one of those.
Yeah, because it's like Antoine's a good friend of mine, and I
Yeah.
feel for Antoine. Like,
That was
Sincerely, because
shit
the way they
move.
did it.
That was stupid. I didn't
yeah,
like
like
that.
there's only 7 of us in
Yeah,
this
you left one guy out.
Yeah,
Bring him on stage. What are you
yeah,
doing?
yeah,
For sure.
man.
Don't agree with
Yeah.
that at all.
Oh, you
So-
didn't make it. Sorry.
I guess. But when there's 7, just fucking do
You
it.
have to have the contrasting thing. But you know what I mean? Like,
You have to
I'm,
be in the top 6.
I won't lie.
Rules are
Why
rules.
not just top 5?
Rules
Why
are rules.
6?
No.
yeah, I'm just happy.
Leave Siobhan back there with him. You know?
Yeah.
At
I'm
least
just
they can
happy I'm
hang
not
out
that
together
guy.
backstage. You know?
So I got 2 nice little medals this past 2
Yeah.
weeks. I think it's definitely a step up in my career.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't
definitely.
I wasn't afraid to do the big show.
Well, it's also a step up in that you look better.
Yeah.
What's next this year? Are you like?
I
What are
don't
you
know
doing?
yet, man. Like it's gonna take me about a week to. You can't make an
can't
instant. I
digest
said to
it.
Mel earlier,
Yeah.
like it takes about a week because anything you think immediately is an immediate response,
Yeah.
which is never the
Yeah.
right response. So I know that I'm this close to getting it right. Even me and Ben were talking earlier. It was like we were saying we think even just us having a conversation, we think it's just an issue of, like, say, just a peak.
Well, I mean, look, it's the same thing with Samson.
Yeah.
One tweak, like, no offense to Milos, but
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's evident because it was something that was changed in a noticeable fashion in like 2 weeks.
yeah.
If this had been 6 months, okay, well, it's a different talk,
Right.
you know? Like, it's
Right.
a different whole system put in play, but, like, when
then-
you're just
and then-
changing a peak protocol, something like
Yeah.
that, like, it's immediate. you
That's
know?
nothing against Milos. What I'm saying
No,
is,
no, it's not- we're
what
not
I'm
even talking
saying
about
is,
Milos.
it's one small piece of the puzzle could just switch.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. Like it's right there. The look is
Speak up a
there.
bit, Ben.
Like the look is right there. You just have to figure out that balance to be able to bring him. Because I was saying to James, I don't think he can afford to not be hard.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Like
I think that's
like
your calling card. You need to play it to the max
structure
every time.
The structure that he has is
not the best, sorry.
It's limited behind
Yeah.
some of these other guys, like
Yeah.
this guy here. So you have to play to your strengths,
Yeah,
and
every
then,
time.
and then maximize anything else you can within that without letting that strength go.
Yeah.
You've got to look, for me, I have to look brutal.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're a
Like, I
branch.
can't look
branch
nice.
one, yeah.
branch.
The modern branch
No,
one.
you need to look like just gnarly slabs of
Dude, I've
dense,
been saying
grainy
this,
muscle.
I've been
Yeah.
saying this since I met you.
Yeah.
You're branch 2.0.
Yeah. But you need
I
to.
don't know if you like that or not.
I don't mind it. It's whether he does. I'm well happy to hear that.
Okay, so what's up with the coach? What are you doing?
I think I'm still just making decisions, writing in my diary, and I don't know, like, because I say I was close, so it's like I'm taking notes. It's not to say I'd never work with a coach.
I think you should take a couple more stabs at it. I think for you, even if you do end up working with a coach, I
I
think
disagree with Ian
Wait,
wholeheartedly.
let me give
I like
my-
that you two disagree. It's great.
Let me give my reasoning. I think for collecting intel, I think it's valuable, you know?
Gives a shit about collecting intel. This is a career.
Fucking tell. Hire the best guy.
Collect money.
This
This is a
spend the money.
He was doing just as good on his own as he was
This
with
is
a
a
coach. So
fucking.
what's the
This is
difference?
a fucking career.
No. Okay, wait. If he had gone there and he looked fucking abysmal, I would be right with you every single time. But it was still a very good competitive look.
not-
I think doing one or
It's
two
not
more.
the point of
Wait.
whether it's very
It's
good or
not
not.
enough.
But you're also assuming that a coach is going to make him better.
Yes,
It
I
might
am.
not.
Well,
Yes, I am.
I agree with you that it might, but I also think
I
that
am not.
for him
listen,
to do one or two more on his own and see what he can do, and then be like, okay, this is what I learned.
How
This is
old
what
are
I
you,
didn't learn.
James?
Oh, yeah, it was my birthday yesterday, so you're picking
Oh,
on
wow.
me. It's too old now.
How old are you?
35.
Yeah, you're gonna waste another 2 years.
2 years. I'm saying do like one or two more shows this season. This season.
Yeah.
You're running out of time, lad.
Go do Detroit. Go do another show.
Listen,
play around, come in a little harder, push the food, change the water, change the sodium.
not about
and then
very-
if it's like, okay, I can't get this, I'm going to hire somebody.
It's not about very good. Yes, you can look very good, but what you said 5 minutes ago is the reason.
Yeah.
You said you weren't happy with the way you looked because you knew you weren't your best. So very good is not enough.
Of course.
So if you can get somebody to give you your best, like
But that's the thing. Who? It's like.
And
Oh, you have to
An
look-
honest,
you have
an
to
honest
do some
question:
looking. You have
Do
to
you
do some
do you even know what that look would be if you got it? Because like say
No, but that's
say
why
you
you
are
hire
your very
her.
best, and you're like, that's not my very best. How do you even know what that is?
But
What
that's
is your
why-
very best? I have no idea. I don't know what that
I
is.
know what
for
his
you.
very best is.
But you don't. You've never seen it. How do you
I
know?
have seen it
When?
he won 2 shows with Patrick. That's what I
You
think
think that was
his
the
very
best?
I think that was your best look. It was very polished.
I can't
It was
remember the
very-
look.
I feel like I was lacking in the front detail versus
Listen,
now.
I don't.
didn't have
maybe-
the quad
maybe-
separation I
I
have
know
now.
this is the one thing. I know Patrick doesn't bring his guys in super blasting full,
Yeah.
but for you, you were polished, you were crisp, and everything was like everything looked really good when you were hitting your shots.
What the point of what I'm saying? I'm not saying that was his best to date, but that doesn't mean that's the best James ever. Yeah. So
No,
I'm saying-
yeah.
but
No,
that's
I didn't say
that's
that.
that's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
agree with
saying.
that.
No, I'm not saying that he hasn't looked better in the past or worse. I'm saying he's saying a look that he feels is his best. Like how will
Okay.
you even know
this
when
is,
you're
this
there?
Is, this is
you
what
know?
I'm saying. Excuse me. So
It's like a white rabbit chasing thing. It's
okay,
like
listen,
you're
this
never
is-
going
this
to
is-
know it. You know.
This is a never-ending argument because
Yeah.
it's whoever. It comes down to preference.
Exactly, yeah.
But my opinion is this: I always have believed in coaches. Always.
Me too. I
Because
100%.
you
I worked with a
cannot-
coach every show I ever did.
Because most athletes cannot make the proper decisions in the final weeks because their mind is not the way. They're not thinking straight.
You're a vegetable for the last few weeks.
With all the
100%.
drugs and all the low body fat, low calories, like
Stress.
I'm sorry, it just benefits everybody having a coach.
He
That's
wants
number
me to-
one.
he
Number
wants me
two.
to call Chris the CEO right now.
Wait. Listen. Number two. I just want to say this: John De La Rosa was always very good.
Yeah.
but now we see
he leveled
what
up
he
big
brought.
time.
Like we saw what his best is.
Yeah.
So he could have finished out his career being like, I
Look,
was very good.
no one's disputing what a good coach. I mean, even with Wesley, like, look what Stefan.
exactly.
He was a
Yeah.
7, 8, 9 Olympia guy. He's now
Exactly.
talking to like battle with Chris.
Right.
You know, like
So
he
that's my
completely
point.
changed his career.
So you get with the right person, and,
yeah,
and
I'm not
something-
disputing that, and I think that in the long run, I'm not telling him to never work with one. I think to do 1 or 2 more on your own versus just picking someone right away because of the result.
There is a process with a coach like that.
Nobody
It's always
said
good to have
to-
like this off season with
I'm
them,
only talking
you know,
about
learning
this
the body.
season, 1 or 2 more.
I'm not saying to hastily run out and get a coach.
Yeah.
I'm saying if there's somebody already on your radar that you
Oh, then
respect,
go for it.
I'm
Yeah.
hiring Ian tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got him.
I wouldn't hire Ian.
I'm a
He's-
three-time
He knows why- what
he's
I'm
only
a
won-
3-time Olympia winning coach.
Think about it a little bit. He's only
By the
won
way-
he's only won 3 Olympias, but he won them with like I could have.
Listen, he got second in the Arnold.
My dog could have won
I
those
also
Olympias.
came second at the
He
Arnold.
came second in the Arnold.
What place did you come?
Nobody was at that Arnold. So anyways, okay.
We should move on now.
Yeah, we should.
So let's dive into this deeper.
Time to tell.
Okay. Speaking of coaches, Samson, I know you've answered some of these questions already.
Yep.
You decided to leave Milos. I don't want to talk about this for a long period of time.
Yeah, I know.
Just really, really briefly, you guys had a good run. I do want to mention something that people forget. A lot of people forget, probably because they weren't following you at the time. Mm-hmm. The road to your 300 pounds started with John Meadows.
Yeah.
And before John passed away, John said, this guy is going to be a 300-pound monster on the Olympia stage.
You did.
Because you hadn't qualified for an Olympia yet.
No.
And Milos took over that trajectory is what Milos took over. So not to discredit Milos at all, but I
No.
just want people to remember that John is the one that got you running in the right direction in the first place.
I mean, you've all seen it, man. Look at the run we've had the last 3 years.
Yeah, Milos has done well for
2.5
you.
years, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what people forget, that you build a relationship with people when they're there with you and they're going through the process with you, the ups, the downs, and everything else. It's not just a coach and athlete relationship anymore. You build a relationship with them, and even when you see, okay, we've gotten to the point where things ain't working and we're not quite nailing it, because of that relationship, you say, come on, okay, we'll give it another try, we'll give it another try, give it another try, give it another try. But at some point, you have to stop and go, okay, right, how many more shows would you give it another try before it's like you have to own up to the truth and say, maybe this isn't working,
Try
or maybe
something
we need to
different.
try something different.
Yeah.
And we had a little quick go at it last year, towards the end of last year. Let's just see if anything works. And we saw a glimpse of it towards, Romania and Prague. And I was like, oh, okay, that's new. But even then, we sort of talked ourselves into dismissing it and say, look, okay, we took some information down, so let's go into the Arnold. And, we kind of went through that and we did the show, and it's like, you just not quite.
More to be desired.
And you just come to the point, and it's a battle. It was a battle. I mean, this one wasn't an easy decision because we would forget that you've been with someone for 2.5 years. It's not easy for you to say, look, we're going to have to, call it quits. It's hard. And, everyone was like, oh, why didn't you post about it and tell me immediately? I'm like, do you really think it's that easy to come off stage in that state of mind and make a decision like that? And then, now I got to tell everybody?
Well, I think what people don't realize is you just didn't want to, you want to kind of keep it to yourself until after.
Yeah.
Well, and like
And
James
Milos
was saying,
kinda-
you need to let those
You
things
need to
like
let them
settle.
settle.
And so you can speak from
Yeah.
a clear frame of mind.
Yeah.
When there's a million things going on the internet, and people are posting this, and people are saying this, and you're speaking out of emotion versus like where
Well, I'm
your head's
thinking about
cool
it.
and how you actually truly feel about
Yeah.
it. Look, I've made a million posts. I'm like 2 days later, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? I literally don't think this at all.
No.
I thought it for 5 minutes one day, and I posted it. And then for the rest of my life, I never thought the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's an acute reaction. That's all it is, right?
And this is so
I think you did the right thing, for sure.
So we just thought, okay, you know what, before we kind of called this part of it a season and then start a whole new prep, let's do exactly what we did with Romania and Prague. I said, let's give it another try. Everybody knows Mel's been by my side right from, she got me into bodybuilding. She turned me into a pro. She did my first 4 pro
She was your
shows.
coach when I met you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she's been along for the journey the whole time. She's seen me at my worst. She's seen me at my best. She's seen the patterns and everything else, and she's picked up and learned from that. So we were like, okay, you know what? What do we do at this point? Should we want to give that like we did last year? Let's give it another try. And I was like, okay, spoke to me also about it, and it's just it was hard. I mean, even now you want to bring tears to my eye. It was hard because you feel like you're letting go of somebody that has been part of your life for so long, and they've been a big role of it. So after having that happen, it was like okay, and we were like, look, let's just focus on the show, let the dust settle, and then we can deal with that. So Meryl took a lot, but she jumped in front and she was like, look, just listen to me. I got you. Let's do this. I can do it.
So I don't want to. You don't have to divulge any personal details, I guess, but if you could point to one thing that you can tell us, what would be the difference between Ohio and the UK? What was something that you guys did that was different?
We didn't carb up for the show.
So, Milos was carbing you up, and you guys didn't carb up.
Yeah, because most of the time, we've seen me every week, especially last week of the show. No matter how flat I look or how flat I think, I'm never flat.
You're always round,
And we know we go through the whole week, low carbs. We get to the end of the week. I'm posing in front to send out my posing video. We're looking at going, what the hell? You look hard and round. And so if that's the look you get at that point, why
are we carbing up?
Why are you carbing up? And she sort of just hit the nail on the head. Look, I'm going to do something to you this week that you're probably not going to like me for. You're going to hate me for it, but trust me, it will work. And she literally starved me that week.
Yeah. Did it? Okay, so I think we all agree you were a touch smaller than normal.
Yeah.
But it was a better look
overall. 100% the best compromise to make,
But I know that kind of thing gets to you sometimes. Did it bother you at all that you were a little smaller?
The idea, when most of the time you walk on stage for the last how many years, and you're always the biggest guy there. The idea of being
a little smaller didn't bother
doesn't.
It's smaller with purpose.
I know a couple of years ago that might have bothered you.
Years ago,
so you've matured.
I've matured enough to look, no matter where you stand next to at this point, you go back and go, God damn, okay,
you're gonna.
Maybe I gotta put really in it. Yeah. So that fear has gone a long time ago. It was always the idea of we always know that in the past. Yeah. When I was a little bit flat, the legs was not as deep, this not sharp. That maturity wasn't there yet. But now we've noticed it doesn't matter. You're always, the muscle's always there. Yeah. And when you carb up, you tend to lose that more than you hold water between muscle and you lose that.
Right.
So she sort of figured that out, and you're like, look, this is what it is. And obviously, where I was ill at the beginning of the week, coming from Ohio and everything else, it was almost like we were playing catch up because of antibiotics. You start blowing out water, and we were like, man, I don't even know if this is even attainable.
Yeah.
And as soon as we sort of came back from the hospital and like, look, I can't. I'm never someone to walk away from a show. If I've said I've decided to do it, it don't matter if my leg falls off. I'm coming to the show.
Yeah.
But so we decided, look, I'm gonna. So we like, okay, let's go for it. And she basically took the rails and she did her thing. First, she got me better and within 3 days, which I was like, whoa, okay. And then she punished me. Yeah. And did it. I remember we met at a meet and greet after standing out all these
dude, I ain't seen you eat all day. So
he's like, dude, when you called me on, this is Thursday, the show was the next day. Have you eat? I'm like, bro, I am starving, my eyes are falling out, and I'm not. I'm like, yeah. When you going? I was like,
dude, he doesn't lose any body. I had a friend like it as well that I was helping, and actually I made an error with him because I had him on low food, he looked great, and then the minute I put some food in him, he looked terrible. I was like, man, I just need to starve you. Exactly the same shit going on.
It is a thing, for sure.
It's crazy.
Some of those guys front loading, I know you've been through that before, and I've done that with a couple of athletes where, especially when I was negating some issues where they couldn't handle the food for whatever reason, then front loading again works well, and then you bring them, taper them into the show. I know you're a big on that one.
I would love to have that problem.
For me, Samson, from my perspective, from judging the show, I thought Saturday you were a touch sharper than Friday. I thought Friday when you first came out, you were sharp, and then I thought you faded a little bit towards the end of Friday night. But Saturday, I think you came back sharper. So I'm just wondering, and this is just from my, just from that noticing that. Without carbing up, do you think you still would have faded a little bit?
So what happened was after Friday, obviously we had the Friday night, we had the look and everything else, and we went back to the road, and we got the feedback, and I think they said, look, that was great, but you just needed to be a little bit fuller field. So I had a freaking burgers, I had a few burgers, had some fries, and I was like, oh my God,
your body was primed for that.
Almost like the body woke up. And we woke up the Saturday morning, and we looked at it, and we go, holy crap.
Well, especially on the Friday when you pose, you sweat a little bit, you got to put yourself down a little bit into that deficit.
Because Saturday seemed to get
that
stronger
stuff works
as the night went on. Rather than Friday where you seem to fade a little bit towards the end.
That's just exactly. So
pose, sleep.
Yep.
Yeah, get some
Mostly
food.
wake up.
What do you know
Burger-
anyway? You're
burger
just a
and
pro
sweet
judge.
I'm just telling you what
You're
I
just
saw
a guy sitting
on
at the
stage.
fucking table judging. All right, so Paul,
He's just making it up as he goes along.
this is your first big show that you judged.
Yes.
Were you nervous that you were going to get a lot of backlash? Because you know if Samson would have won,
Yep.
everyone would have said that you played favorites.
Paul did it.
And the Hotties fans would have killed you.
I know. I was. I don't read a lot of online comments, so I wasn't aware of. I thought there might be some chatter about that, but you made me aware that there was some, and so did certain other people at the show. And I kind of took that personally, but at the same time, I can understand where that argument can come from. But I took it personally because I take my integrity as a judge very seriously. It's as Fouad knows better than anybody. It probably means more to me than as much.
Well, you
to me
said
as being a
you'd
good
ditch
father.
him and you'd rather judge fairly than be his friend.
Yeah,
He tried to.
I would. It means a lot to me. My
He
integrity.
tried to block me from getting a pro card. He couldn't do it.
yeah.
I gave him a gift his first year. That's the only time I ever did it, just because I didn't want him to quit the sport. I saw.
Anyways,
Anyway,
were you
no.
nervous? Were you nervous judging a massive show, or did it feel normal to be at the table?
I was excited to judge a show of this caliber because I've always told you, I've always dreamt about being at this level as a judge, but to be honest, I didn't know if I would ever reach it.
Yeah.
So to get that opportunity and to judge guys like Samson and Hottie, the top in the world, and James, like up front and personal, for me as a judge was like a dream come true.
Did it feel harder?
So
Like when you watch a level 1 show, when you guys walk out, you can kind of go like, all right, that guy's gonna win.
Right.
That guy's like you can kind of like right away.
Right.
But when you're judging guys at this level, especially with Hottie and
When
Samson,
you're
how
looking
close
at
they were.
that, when you're looking at Hottie and Samson particularly, like this was the battle for first in this show, and even the third, fourth, fifth spots. James, John, and Hakeem. You want to make sure you get that right, and you want to make sure you remove any bias that could be somewhere in your head. So what I try to do is, this might sound stupid, I don't look at your heads. I try to just focus on the bodies.
Wait! I thought you judge based on looks.
That's more in photo shoots what I see
okay,
online.
for
I make that determination. Not so
You
much
didn't know
on
this, but he
stage.
judges based on looks.
No, I don't. But
The only reason I beat Hassan in Toronto.
Yeah, thanks.
It's like
you were
Ian's
handsome.
prettier.
You were very handsome in that show. Yeah.
thank you.
But no, it's like that's how I can try and take my personal relationships out of judging a show. So that's exactly what I tried to do with Samson and Hottie. I just went, forget about my relationships with either one of them. Just go pose for pose, and then at the end of the day, not just pose for pose, but overall package. Like before, those criterias, who is the closest to that?
Yeah,
And
I think fans have to understand too that, and I don't know how you feel about this, but when you're sitting at the table, do you feel like this is their career? Like if you fuck up, like
100%.
I mean, think about it. Like the difference between first and second in Ohio is $300,000 versus
lot of
like
money.
100 or something. Like that.
Yeah.
Like so when you're sitting at the table, you're like, I could cost this guy $80,000 if I fuck this up.
And that's why being biased is even more important to not be biased.
Right.
Yes.
Because
I
I think
think
we
I-
respect
this
you
is
more
someone's
for that.
livelihood.
We respect you from one another because, like I said,
We had this
battling
conversation.
the best.
Yeah.
We're battling for the best. I don't want to have it on a handout.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
I
you're
want
right.
to earn it
And a
be
true
like,
champion doesn't want a
yeah,
handout.
I don't want a
Right.
handout.
No.
I don't
Right.
want, especially going up against someone as good as Hattie. I don't want to be like, oh, he's close, so
You want
no,
honest-
I
you
want
want
it to
honest
be
critique.
Clear.
Yeah.
Honest
Right.
critique going, yeah, you took that.
And that's a champion
Yeah.
mindset. You don't
You
want a
know.
gift, you want to earn it.
No.
And and as a judge, and that's the way I want to judge. I want you to earn it. I want
Yeah.
you to deserve it. I would never want to give someone a gift except
No.
for his first show.
And I think too, an honest critique coming from a friend
Yes,
can be
yes.
even more meaningful because so many friends like gas you up.
Yeah,
So you're like, oh, you look awesome, you got robbed, this and this. But once
Nah.
can be a friend that can look you in the eyes and be like, look, you need to be this, you need to be this needs to improve. Like this is what you need to do. It's like, okay, like he wants the best for me and he's being honest
Right.
with me.
Yeah.
You know,
See,
I think it has
yeah.
more impact.
I
yeah.
had this conversation with Iain and Fouad before the show. I was like, this is one thing that I was going into the show I was kind of nervous about. What's my feedback going to be to Samson, to James, to John, the guys that I know? Because as people probably know, I like to be liked by people. It's hard to like be, to be not harsh is the right word to use, but sometimes being honest can come across as harsh. And I like these guys, so I don't want to come across as harsh. But at the same time, I'm giving them feedback as a judge, not as a friend.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what advice that Iain and Fouad both gave me that was valuable.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've like me and Ben have a working relationship and we have a friendship.
You have to
it's like,
separate the two.
Sometimes when you're having a discussion, you have to go into the discussion saying, look, I'm going to talk to you as my friend,
Yeah.
or I'm going to talk to you as, somebody you work with. Or like in your case, you have to go up, if you're talking to John or Samson or John or James, you have to be like, I'm talking to you as a judge now.
Right.
We're going to put our friendship aside for 5 seconds.
Yeah, and that's a good way for me to separate it mentally too, and then I can look at them as a competitor, not as a friend.
Right.
It's the best thing anyway, because ultimately by doing that you allow the person an opportunity to improve.
Yeah,
100%.
You can't improve if you're told shit.
No,
Right. And you and I talked before, like
That's what I said,
if you tell someone like, hey,
you're doing them no service.
or even like if someone asked me to take a look at them a week before a show, like in my gym or something.
Don't be like, you look great.
Oh, you look great, dude. You're gonna do great.
What's that do for them?
In my head, like there's holes there. I'm not being honest with them, so if they get their ass kicked at the show, they'll be like, hey.
Well,
said I look great.
you told me I look great.
What's going on, man? So
Yeah.
it's so important to be honest.
Yeah, and I think the competitor needs to understand that. If you're prepared to ask, prepared to hear.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to take this
Because a lot of
responsibility,
them aren't.
and if I'm going to take the responsibility on of judging a show of this caliber, then I have to do that. It's part of the job.
Yeah.
So after every show, I always go back to speak to whoever I can find first.
No, because you want to be better.
Absolutely, and if you can deliver.
Sometimes that's hard truths, you know.
Yeah, there are hard things to say sometimes, but it's something I'm learning to do better.
Yeah.
All right. So on to more important things. Nobody can kick the shit out of me after I say this. Why does your food suck?
It doesn't.
So bad. It's fucking UK.
You haven't gone to
has
anywhere
no
good to
clue.
eat yet.
Fucking-
You
you could go to a hole in
Even
the wall and
shitty
fucking
places in America or
In
Canada
Ottawa.
are better than like
Cottage
Yeah.
pie, shepherd's pie, bangers and mash,
I gotta go for bangers and mash.
toad in the hole,
I love that bangers and mash.
steak and ale pie.
The coffee here sucks.
the steaks are
Coffee here
terrible.
sucks. Steaks suck.
Terrible.
Burgers suck.
Oh,
I ate a
terrible.
burger yesterday. It tasted like my grade
Where
10
was it?
cafeteria.
What restaurant?
It tastes like a ski hill.
What
Literally
restaurant?
tasted like my high school.
What restaurant was it?
It wasn't a restaurant. It was just like some,
At the
They
hill.
go then.
yeah. But if I get a burger at like the Arnold, Ohio, it's delicious.
That's because it's the Hilton.
No, it's just because the meat
Aye.
is better.
You just need to be showing the right places. Ben owes you some.
See, but
talk-
if you got
like,
to really
he-
cherry
Why does
pick,
the coffee suck?
It doesn't. It's,
It's
just,
so
you're drinking
weak.
cheap
It's like
coffee.
I'm drinking water.
You're drinking cheap coffee.
Look, he's from the UK. He can be honest.
I gotta agree with them. I really put my hands up and I tried. But being in both places,
it's not
Ben
good.
lives in Texas. I don't know how you're not agreeing with me.
Have you eaten an
food is
apple?
better
Here?
here.
Have I?
Have you
Where?
eaten a jazz apple here?
No.
A what?
If you had a
jazz
jazz
apple?
apple, your life would change.
What's the
jazz
jazz?
apple?
We have those in
and
America.
I tried your
What is that?
sticky toffee pudding. It's
Oh, I
horrible.
had that.
No,
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 I like
wait.
that. I like that.
You tried it at like
No, that
midnight
was shit.
at like
You'll
It
get
tastes
better
like
ones.
fucking
Look at
raisins.
the
Look at
disbelief.
they're all mad. I know. I gotta run out of here.
No, you need to use like
Have
a
you even
proper
had a
gastropub. Proper gastropub. Give you
All right.
proper.
Well, you guys gotta take me somewhere.
Yeah,
to
it's all,
good.
you got to show us tonight, or we're
Because
running out
seriously,
opportunities here.
My impression of this place.
I think
is
you've
like,
just got really naff British friends. You
One
need some-
thing
I do have to tell you though, objectively in the world, objectively, not my opinion, objectively, UK cuisine is like
It's interesting because
It's not.
below-
You
it's
just
like at
love
the
getting me
bottom.
riled
I've
up.
been to- I've been to
This
the
is- You just do this every time we're.
I've been to the UK before, and I remember like there was a lot of food that I really liked, and then I'm like getting older, and I'm coming back, and I'm like, man, this food sucks. I'm like, did I just get fucking like prissy in my old age? You
We
know?
were eating in Birmingham. That's
true.
it.
Okay.
One thing I will say though, you guys use Biscoff cookies on a lot of your desserts here, and I love Biscoff cookies.
I love that.
So I'm
Love
a big
that.
fan of
UK, we kill it at dessert. No,
Yeah.
this one.
No,
no,
the desserts are good.
Dessert,
I haven't
kill
had
it.
it.
Desserts and breakfast food they
Yeah.
get down. Everything
Yeah,
else
we
is
kill that.
pretty mid. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
have
second
you even
thing
had an
is,
English breakfast yet? A proper one?
I haven't
No,
had an English
proper.
breakfast. We'll go for
Oh,
it
you
tomorrow.
haven't
Tomorrow we'll
breakfast
go.
yet?
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
This guy's been saying proper nonstop.
I can't stop saying proper.
You can't stop saying
Just get all
Good.
Proper.
I'm glad. Proper is perfect.
He's gonna be saying proper and take the piss.
Take it.
Yeah,
You
I love taking the
need
piss
a
now.
proper traditional English breakfast with hash browns.
Okay.
But not your hash browns that are all.
Oh, no,
breakfast.
no.
Let's go tomorrow morning.
Well, pressure's
Yeah.
on you guys because you know this area, so you got to bring us somewhere good.
You got to take us somewhere.
I'm not
There's
gonna
no
lie, we're
Birmingham,
not-
it's
We're not in
bacon.
the area where I
With
say it's the
bacon
best
as well.
food.
Ben knows. Oh,
This isn't the best
Yeah,
ever.
no.
Birmingham's
Birmingham's not
the
the
best.
best. This
This
is
is
the
not
best.
the
Where
That's
I
all-
live,
that's
where
all.
I live
There's
is where
one
the best.
restaurant.
I can take you anywhere in Ontario and the food would be better than
All I'm going to say is, unfortunately for you guys, it'll have to be when you next visit, but where I live now in Cheltenham is where the best breakfasts are. Okay?
Let me guess, it's 5 hours away.
It's, like 3. But,
Unfortunately, we
Imagine
can't try
that.
this trip.
honestly,
Okay, can I ask you another question?
go on.
Why are your roads only big
Oh, I
enough
knew
for
that
one
was
fucking
coming.
car?
I knew that
Because
was
we're
coming.
old school. We've been
I
around
knew
for
that
a long
was
I'm
time.
coming.
driving here today. I gotta fucking pull over.
Who was like, I want to drive my Escalade.
No, I can't even drive this little fucking
Do you know what it's called? It's called history.
Sticky cards the size of
Because
regular.
we have
That's
history
true.
here.
That's true.
Hey, what?
We have history here. Old school.
Dude.
We're not some new.
Expand the roads a little bit.
Yeah,
man.
they don't want to waste all that
And why is
park
it like,
space.
wait a minute,
Expand them to
Wait a
where?
minute, I have a question. Why is it when you're driving down the road, all of a sudden there's just like a curb that sticks out?
No, I won't lie. I fucking hate roads here.
I'm driving down the road, all of a sudden there's like just a curb.
You got to swerve around. No, driving here is terrible.
Were you driving through on the way here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because it's like a traffic control
Yeah,
thing.
you're supposed to slow down and wait
that
for
what it
other
is?
cars
Yeah, you're supposed to slow down, man.
Yeah, I'm like, why is there a curb in the middle of the road?
Because you're doing like 90.
I won't lie. I do prefer driving in the States,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Texas especially.
That's not even a comparison.
Yeah.
I like driving over here.
Oh my god.
Fucking horrible.
Over here is fucking scary.
It's
It is
it's
scary.
It's
It's
fun
not
in an
scary,
exciting
it's
way,
just not
but
fun. It's
I
like
don't know. It's quite scary.
Fouad likes to go really fast, and you can't do that here.
You can't do that.
I'm ragging the shit out of that transit van.
Oh yeah, he's been fucking driving the piss out of that. Yeah.
I've got to take you for a proper breakfast one
and
day.
I got to tell you, everything's small and the toilets suck.
Oh, the shroud.
No, wait. When I'm in America, and I go for a shit, I go to wipe my ass and my hand gets wet because the toilets are so shallow, the water.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they flush like a jet.
What is
It's
with
like
that? It's like
the water's on your bumhole before you even fucking do it.
Like seriously, man. Like,
So I
what's with
go
that?
to wipe and I got a wet
And
hand.
you got water literally right there.
I can't even wipe
How
my
far
ass.
is the toilet? Are you
sitting there on
The
my
toilet's
phone in
like
it?
this deep to your hand and
Jamie,
Elbow down there.
Please agree with me on that.
Yeah, but you also don't want, you
You go to
Why-
Europe
and
and
why
the
is
tissue
the-
gets
but you don't
wet
want your
on
shit
my
coming out
glass.
of the water.
No, but
know?
that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's got to be
I don't know.
it's got to be
Too many people
fully
here.
submerged. You know.
What? Okay. Why is your shower like everything's tiny?
Yeah.
Because
What is wrong with you people?
Because small is cute.
Yeah, but there's
It's
big
about-
there's
it's
big
about
people
the
here.
quaint.
Small things, man.
I have
like
to
you
say,
guys
on
are-
average, the bodybuilders have been bigger here than I see stateside.
I
To be
know.
honest, you know?
quaint. We're quaint.
Yeah.
We like quaint things, small things that are nice and.
It's a bunch of huge dudes with
Tidy.
small cards and tiny roads and small showers.
I gotta tell you
what
though,
the fuck is going on here?
the bodybuilding culture here is good.
Yeah, it's very
Oh,
good.
great!
It's
Yeah.
We
pretty
went to
decent.
Dino's. We went to Dino's.
Oh, Dino's
gym.
great.
Yeah.
And
just-
here too. Like,
Yeah,
so-
I mean this gym too, obviously, but I haven't trained here yet. But like, it just feels like,
Yeah, Dino's is like a proper.
yeah.
It's like a museum.
yeah, it's literally a museum.
Yeah, it's
Walk-
brilliant.
walking around and
And
everything.
he loves it. He's got the pictures on the wall.
Oh yeah, he'll show
Yeah.
you. He'll give you the
Story.
He'll give you the grand tour. You know?
I did love that.
You see this bench?
His cable crossover, I had them like, it was like a number 5 and a number 5. They were not the same fucking weight.
Oh no,
Although you couldn't find two dumbbells the same.
no, we were
It's,
using two
He's got
60s that
a-
were completely different.
He's got all that gym 80s stuff in there. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
that's
great,
what we
yeah.
used to have.
We used it.
Yeah, I
He's
love
got
that.
that chain Nautilus bicep
yeah,
curl
we use that
suit
too.
and that pullover.
We used
thing
all the
is-
cool shit.
The coolest part about it is, he told me that he takes everything apart every few months,
He's-
oils it, cleans it all.
He told me and Paul.
Yeah.
And me and Ben can totally attest to it being honest. Because
Yeah, no,
it
he's
was
that
like
kind
everything
of-
was so smooth.
We
It was-
commented on that to him yesterday, and he was like, "We basically, I can't remember what the
So he takes
rundown."
the chains right off.
They do like a certain amount of pieces of equipment every while, and it takes them 6 months to do the whole gym. And then when they get to the end, they start
back
again,
around again.
and they go again. It's
Yeah.
like painting a bridge. It's like by the time you get to the end, you start again. It's like it's the same thing.
Yeah,
but they were all like old pieces, but like they were perfectly maintained.
He's
Like,
he's
Smooth.
like the epitome of the British bodybuilding culture.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah, it's great.
I want to. I just want to take a second to apologize to the UK people that came to the Arnold booth because I've been sick since Friday, so I wasn't at the booth on Saturday, and I was only there for half a day on Sunday, and I've been coughing this entire podcast. So I apologize to anybody who tried to see me or whatever, and I wasn't there.
Don't flatter yourself.
I'm sure it was only like 5 of you, but
4.
all 5 of you. I'm sorry.
Appreciate you.
Anyway, before we go though, we're gonna take some questions. So we have a few people here hanging out. Does anybody want to ask any questions, or should I go to the phone?
To the phone. You got questions on the phone?
I got questions on the phone, or we can take some live questions. I'd rather take live questions. Go ahead.
Mic it.
Yeah, give him the mic.
Yeah, so then you get on the-
Whoa.
I was going to ask about the food, but you've already rinsed that. So
Go ahead. What were you gonna ask? Oh, if we like
if
the
you
food.
tried anything, yeah.
Shit.
But to be honest, most of the good food here is not British. It's like Turkish. And
I know that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said UK
Indian
food.
kebab.
I've had good Indian
kebabs,
food. The only
Indian
food I've
Take
had
him,
was
to,
good
take
Indian.
him to Edgware Road.
By the way,
Dude,
it's
I've had
Indian
like
food.
5 curries since I've been here.
Yeah, that's all I eat.
Yeah.
It's us asking for it to be that way.
Yeah. It's not real Indian food. Yeah.
Have you tried any UK cigarettes?
No. Are they good?
I have.
What were you smoking in the car?
James,
I
get
brought
him
those
on
from Canada.
What does you fancy? Benson
He got his
Benson
fucking
Hedges.
You say
Belmonts from
Benson and
Canada.
Hedges?
Yeah, you need Benson
wait,
and
you
Hedges.
had a Benson?
I've heard of that.
Yeah, we got that. Come on. We've been smoking Benson Hedges for decades.
I've had Benson and Hedges.
This fucker's like, hey, I'm gonna get a rental car. My throat's really bad. I don't want to sit in the truck with you. I look in the mirror. He's like chain smoking as he's driving.
The smoking actually
clears it out.
It
It actually
suppressed,
does, yeah.
suppressed
Yeah,
my
no, it
cough.
clears it out
kills
for
the
sure.
bacteria
100%.
back.
When I
Yeah.
smoke, it calms my throat.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
the smoke soothes the
If I
throat.
was smoking right now, I wouldn't have coughed the
This
whole
gives you
podcast.
a silky feeling on your throat.
Are we smoking here?
Who's smoking? Is there,
That'd make a way better podcast.
Listen, it's a bad fucking habit. I've had it since I was 14. Everybody fuck off.
everyone has a vice.
He
Everyone
doesn't
has a
actually
vice.
smoke. We're just joking.
Anybody else?
Anyone else want to ask anything?
No?
All right.
Come on. None of you?
Don't be
You guys
shy.
are all shy. How many of you actually watch the podcast? And none of you have questions. What do you? What's my favorite part of the trip? Watching Samson on stage.
Yeah, watching the show.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday's fine.
Saturday night was so
You know what?
exciting.
Me and Ian said this in a wrap-up we did, but probably more people are going to watch this. I just have to say again, whoever has not gone to a show has to go to a show.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to watch your favorite bodybuilder on live stream or see pictures.
It's not even close to the same.
I've been a bodybuilder for fucking 2 decades, and I'm still like blown away when I go watch the guys on stage.
I mean, honestly, I've been bodybuilding for 15 plus years. I've only been to a few shows because I was competing the whole time.
That's what I mean,
So I never
yeah.
attended. It was a completely different capacity. So for me now, like being on the other side and sitting in the crowd and like feeling the energy of the crowd,
But I
it's
mean,
so much different than watching.
Think about how many shows like we break down.
Yeah.
On the
That's
podcast.
what I'm saying. It's not the same.
And then
Not
when
even
we're
close.
there, it's like wow.
Dude,
The energy is so much different.
Friday we were like front and pretty much center.
Yeah, we
right?
were sitting right in
And I'm
front.
like this, I'm like watching it, and then I'm like, maybe let me see. And I look up at that big screen and went, well,
Nope.
fuck that. No way.
Yeah.
Like,
Saturday's
it
fine.
still looks
Shit.
fine, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
And like when you watch the live stream, you can't hear the crowd the same. You can't feel the
No,
energy.
right.
You can't hear people going like, Hardy Samson.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you can't feel that. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
Because I had loads of fans come up to me after the expo and everything, the meet and greet, and they said like it was the first time they were watching a pro show like that, and they go, they can't believe how different it is.
Yeah. I have
and
to
we
say,
said,
too-
and I said, we say it all the time.
Yeah.
You have to watch it in person.
People,
It's not
people
the
don't
same.
believe it. They think
they think we're just saying
I think
Yeah.
people think we're just trying to like defend the
yeah,
bodybuilders.
just
No,
like justify.
no.
Like, oh, they didn't look better. You know.
No, it's
I don't
completely.
even-
It's not even
If
close.
you're there and you see Samson do a routine like that,
Yeah.
I promise you, the electricity in the building is something you probably would have never felt.
It's not
And not even just that,
and
the
this is not
quality
just
of the
Samson,
physique.
Even
Just
Hadi,
all the
like,
physiques.
when Hadi walks across the stage,
And he
like,
stands in
were
that light,
sitting-
and you see the detail.
We were sitting just to the left of center.
And when he came over,
And when he came over
Yeah.
and hit like this shot, and you see the striations,
it's not
Oh,
even
man.
close to what the pictures
it's
look
not
like.
like a fucking photo, man. It's
No.
like,
Because you don't get it. It's a two-dimensional thing. Like even if it's a video, it's still two-dimensional. It's not a
well,
flat
and you don't
screen.
get the energy of the bodybuilder.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
it's-
Also, some physiques translate quite well on a
Yeah.
screen,
Yeah.
and some don't.
Don't
at
at all.
all.
Right. Yeah.
And so you like even like John versus Akeem in person, and then you see them up on the screen, and it's like.
Yeah.
Like John really doesn't translate at
Yeah.
all,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Akeem still held up pretty good.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
they actually look further apart than they were.
Yeah,
It's
to
real close.
truly know what you're looking at, you do have to be there.
And if
Yeah.
you really, really want to get the experience, you pay for a gold package or something.
Sit up front.
Sit
Try and
close.
get as close as
Yeah.
you can.
Close,
Because
yeah.
it's still great being in the back, but
It's
if
not.
you really want to see the guys,
See it right up close.
like the conditioning, the fucking posing,
Yeah, save up.
you got to be as close as you can.
At Saturday night's finals, when the crowd was all rushing to the stage for you and Hardy, and that was I've never seen that. That was
I
awesome.
thought I might get. I was thinking. I'm like, if Samson wins, am I gonna run on stage?
I have to say though,
exactly what you were
I was
thinking.
gonna roll. I'm like, how am I gonna? I'm like, the stage is a little higher.
It's quite high.
So I was gonna jump and like roll on stage.
Give me a boost.
yeah, I have to say though, for a show with only 7 guys in live in the men's open, that was one of the more exciting shows I've
Well,
seen.
you don't need 20 guys. You
I
just
mean,
need-
that was case in point.
You just
proving it.
need good competition.
Good competition,
great
and,
crowd.
and I have
Yeah.
to say, whoever was head judging, I think Steve there,
was
did a
the
good
man.
job, like giving
I think it's
John and
pretty spot on.
Akeem a 2-man comparison. Usually they'll
was
just do
spot
the 4-man,
Yeah.
and then maybe the 2-man for the top 2. But they like gave John and Akeem, they gave these call-outs and gave these guys their shot,
And
which
as
I
a-
like. I really respect. I
As
said
a judge
it
on the panel,
Or to Fouad, sorry.
as a judge on the panel too, you love
love
that because
that.
you're like, good. I want to see.
I
want to
see these guys,
I
yeah.
want to see each other.
No,
I mean,
they
all-
need more of those. When you have 7 guys, you have the opportunity. And I also think, look, there's been the discussion going around about not having certain classes at Arnold's and stuff. But I also think in some capacity, it gives you the time.
More time.
Yeah.
Your show's
Yeah.
not run until fucking midnight, and you're
Right.
rushing through classes with 30 people. When you keep it an invitational and you only have a smaller class and less classes, you can give these athletes due diligence.
Yeah. Right.
You have if you want to do 2-man comparisons for every single person there,
Yeah.
first and second, second, third, third and fourth, fourth and fifth, you can do it.
We always talk
You
on
know?
the podcast about how there's different stories.
Yeah.
Like we always talk about, like in Ohio, we talked about, okay, there's going to be Hadi Samson,
Yeah.
then there's going to be
But, like-
Rafa, James, John, then there's
Yeah.
going to be
But if you go back to watching-
nice when you can see them like
You know,
Yeah,
70s,
right,
80s, 90s, up to 90s bodybuilding, even early 2000s, they used to do like a bajillion different random
yeah, but that's
comparisons.
because there was only bodybuilding.
But that's what I'm saying. When there was only 2
Yeah.
classes, men's and women's bodybuilding and fitness or whatever it was, you had the time to do that. So I think sometimes it is better for these big level shows to have just minimal classes so you can really give these athletes like really good comparisons. Like
I don't think it takes away any prestige either by being invited to the Arnold. That's a big.
I think that is
That's
the
a big-
prestige.
that's more-
that is the
That's that's why I was.
No, I know. I just mean like some people are like, well, it's not real sport because you qualify for the Olympia and you don't have to qualify for the Arnold. I'm like, yeah, but you're getting invited by
and you essentially do have to qualify because there's actually like
there's a panel of judges.
There's a reason why they're invited.
Yeah, and even with this Arnold, it's like unless you've won a pro show,
you ain't getting it.
So you are basically already an Olympian.
Let's be serious. Like Martin Fitzwater applied for this Arnold and the Columbus,
and he's a great bodybuilder.
and he didn't get in, and he's fucking awesome.
He's a great bodybuilder.
He's good.
There's a criteria that they ask you to meet
I know.
before. No, I'm saying you
even
know.
Sasan applied.
Yeah,
Sasan's like
amazing.
Event.
Go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
There's a criteria when you apply that they want and demand. That's just to apply.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I know you will not know this, but other people don't. So there's a standard that you're being held to. That is the qualification.
Well, every single guy in that lineup had won a pro show, like James said.
You have to have won on a pro show within the last 2 years. I think was one of them, right?
How many people? How many classes were there?
4, I think it was.
So it's about 4.
Three men's, 3 women's.
So it's about 60 people, isn't it? Roughly. Let's say.
There's six
Total.
total.
There's 60,
3 men's, 3
let's say
women's.
there's roughly 60 people. Applications, they get over 220.
Yeah.
So you have to filter it down by
the 20
almost, that 20. Yeah, they can
I would
keep
actually
25%.
argue that it's more prestigious because.
Hang on, the 22 Olympia had 52 men's classic.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Right?
One
Fucking class.
And you're saying that's more competitive? It is in a way, but isn't in a way.
I argue that the judging
makes it more
quality
boring.
is higher because you're not
You have
burnt
more
out
time.
by the fucking time you get to.
Right, yeah.
How many times? How many bodies have you seen? How much?
I think at the Olympia too, like at certain level shows when they're that big, like they'll have like some alternate judges. You'll sub in for certain classes.
Yeah.
You know, certain judges have a specialty in certain classes. You know, so you'll see some subbing in and out. But at like a national qualifier, for example, where you get like a 400 amateurs at a show, and you're judging 16 hours that day. Yeah, your ability to judge effectively definitely diminishes.
No.
Yeah, because once you've seen too many bodies, you become.
Fatigue.
No, I think these shows like this, keeping like, especially for the Olympia, 50 guys in the classic, or whatever it is, 65 bikini girls. Just like we were talking about, one, it's hard for the judges, and two, you're really limiting the time you're able to give these athletes to look at them. And at the top, look, if this is a pro qualifier, okay, that's one thing. But when you're talking about the fucking Olympia, the Arnold, you need to be able to, like, if I want to take 2 hours on this class because I feel I need it, I should be able to take it. Not worry about, like, okay, the next class has to go on. We'll be here till 2 a.m. You need that,
because of costumes, things like that.
No, I completely understand why they do it,
but it's unfortunate.
I'm not knocking them for doing it. It's just when you see the other side of it, you see what it can give in terms of the excitement for a show. When you can give more comparisons, give Samson and Hottie 4 fucking rounds to pose. Switch sides, do this. John and Akeem, get the 4 of you guys. You can do all these different things.
It's an event at the end of the day, and it should be.
And somebody's.
1 hour 16. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, James. Have you seen the movie A Million Miles Away?
No.
Don't bother, James.
Thank God.
Don't waste your time, James.
Watch it.
What's it about?
Let's ask them. Has anyone watched it?
Has anybody seen A Million Miles Away?
Crickets.
Shit.
Crickets.
Good. Because they saw it, they're like, nope.
Has anybody seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I still haven't seen
Did
it.
anybody here like
You love it? Yes. Yeah.
You lost.
I still haven't seen it.
You lost that
One
so
fucking
fast.
guy like
No,
You
more
had
people
none.
looked
You
at
had none. I'm like,
a fucking mustache.
we know each other. That's my friend Jordan.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one.
that
Are
was
you
an
serious?
awesome time.
That guy lost all credibility.
We're friends, Jordan and I.
I'm, like I said, I went.
A million miles away, James.
I'm
You're an emotional person.
I'm too emotional. Don't make me watch
I'm
it.
telling you, you're an emotional person. You'll love it.
No.
This guy has no fucking heart. That's why. I've never even seen it.
I'm probably
He's
like one of the
judging a
most
movie he's never
emotional
going
here.
to see.
Yeah.
The only film I'm really thinking about seeing, and this is an old one, is My Left Foot.
What's that?
It's Daniel Day-Lewis. He plays someone with.
Yeah, but it's Daniel Day-Lewis.
Exactly. So I'm going to cry. Anyway. And I saw Dune 2 last night. It's very good.
I saw that. That's good.
Fucking
So good.
I haven't seen that yet.
A million miles away.
Million
You'll
miles away.
appreciate it.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not a.
Samson,
I can't
trust me.
say it here. We'll get in trouble. I won't say it.
What are you getting racial here or what?
Well, because you guys don't get it because you're white.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
There's always got to be
You're
a
making
level.
excuses. That's why.
No, you guys don't understand our play.
Oh yeah. Sure. You're so hard done by.
I am. That's why. James, I'm telling you, just watch it.
Is
please.
it a film about?
It's a film about an immigrant.
It's a fucking Mexican guy that becomes an astronaut.
You're all your fucking eyes.
I'm about an astronaut.
It's not that fucking deep,
First trying
bro.
to get me to feel sorry for him.
It's a guy who becomes an astronaut.
He fucking rolled his eyes right away. See that shit?
It's because I know
As he should.
Fouad's got an agenda here.
Yeah.
All right,
Fucking social justice warrior.
You guys can kiss my ass. At least you can watch it first before you rate it.
Okay. You know what? I will.
Just watch
I will.
it.
I will watch it
and rate it.
I'll watch it on the flight home. It's on
I
the plane.
guarantee you,
I'll watch it.
You'll at least think it's a 6 or better.
No, I just at least I'll have credibility behind saying it's garbage.
It wasn't offered on my.
All right.
It's new. Yeah.
It obviously affected
It
you
was
quite
one of
heavily.
those movies
It's with
where
that fucking
you're
Michael Pena guy, right?
Yeah, something like that. You know when you're flipping through like Netflix and shit, you can't find nothing to watch.
Yeah, that's how he went
I
to
was like,
that.
you know what? I'll try this one out.
Yeah.
And I just hit play, and
You paid for it.
I didn't pay.
So did it really hit home? Is it like a really?
And then when I watched it, I'm like, that was a fucking good movie.
how good though?
That's like a 7.5, maybe an 8.
Maybe an
7.5. I got a little emotional, so it's got to be at least 7.5.
If there was tears involved, you can say it.
I don't think I cried, but it was close.
Okay. Water behind the eyes.
There was some water behind the eyes.
Yeah.
And he hasn't watched it either.
I
You guys
tried.
are just
I
talking.
put it
Yeah,
on
but
once.
he's
I
probably
tried.
one of them-
Literally no one here is watching.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they read the description, they're like, nah, fuck this shit.
The storyline doesn't sound
Paul's
great.
probably one of them guys that's like me and my friends. Whenever they recommend something, I purposely avoid it.
Yeah.
That's what they've been doing.
I'm an arsehole.
He does.
Like,
Because you know they're fucking with you. You know it's gonna be awful.
yeah.
You know it's going to be good.
I don't think I'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Judging by the plot line, it
I've been
doesn't
watching
sound
The
exciting
Gentleman,
at all.
which is a
Great. Excellent.
Yeah.
What movie is that?
I've seen
The
that.
Gentleman.
It's
You've
not
been watching it,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, but
I watched it on the
it's
plane right here.
serious.
The series is amazing.
Excellent.
I
Yeah.
polished off 8
The
fucking
first
episodes in
episode.
2 nights.
The fucking chicken.
Yeah.
Oh my
Coked
God.
out of his fucking mind.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, The Gentleman's great. It's
fucking
But
funny.
that's Guy Ritchie. Anything
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie's awesome.
Well,
That's
most. He
I'll
did
give
most.
you guys that. The UK, you guys got
That
good,
kind of-
We
good
go to
arts.
film. Yeah.
Music,
Yeah.
movies.
Real gangster films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food sucks. Other than that,
Good bakery. Good
Have you even had a cup of tea since
wait.
you've been here?
I had
Proper
a couple.
tea?
It was
I
that
felt, I felt very English.
Was it good?
I was in my hotel room. And I saw the fucking kettle. I'm like, and I'm sick. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna make some tea.
Yeah, but did you even put milk in it?
No, I don't put milk.
That's
in it.
not tea.
You didn't know you didn't have tea.
Come on.
That's a
man.
fucking
You didn't have
distraction.
to- Even I know that.
I'm gonna make you tea in the morning.
Yeah,
You
no,
should be
no.
drinking.
You have a- it's a milk and 2
No,
sugars.
you need a proper tea.
Is there any
proper
Arabs
tea.
here?
a milk and 2 sugars.
You don't need black
Arabs,
tea,
Arabs
bro.
don't drink fucking milk in
You
their
need
tea.
a milk and 2 sugars. What's the regular British tea? Like breakfast tea. Yeah, like a
I don't know if that's
Yorkshire.
a thing. I just like,
Black tea only.
Dude, it's not one of them Turkish teas.
Growing up, we never drank milk in our tea.
Yeah, because Turkish teas and that are different.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
because when I've been to like Eastern
Yeah, but I'm
countries,
talking like Earl Grey.
you drink it out of a glass.
Yeah.
which is not
It's
a tea.
different.
You need a tea and a mug and some milk and a sugar, a couple of sugars, 2
So if I
sugars.
put Earl Grey in a clear
Not
cup,
Earl Grey, that's shit. PG
Earl
tips.
Grey.
English breakfast.
PG tips.
You probably
This is the one I've heard is the good one. Yeah.
what is this? PG tips.
PG tips.
Yeah.
PG tips.
Yeah, PG tips.
It sounds a little.
I'll show you out.
PG tips. It sounds like a censored tip.
It does sound like something weird.
It's a little sus for sure. It's a
weird.
little sus, yeah.
I'm
But
like,
yeah,
I don't know
PG
if you're fucking with me or
I'm
not.
not fucking with you, man. PG
He's gonna go to the store and ask for it. They'll be like, "What the
PG
fuck are you?
tips.
The fuck you saying, bro?"
PG tips, a little bit of semi-skim milk and a couple of sugars.
You might get
Yeah.
arrested.
Yeah.
Easy.
Before you got married, if you found the perfect girl, everything you want, but she told you she used to be an OF creator, would you still date her?
I wouldn't care.
Oh, OnlyFans?
You wouldn't care?
No.
You wouldn't care either?
What's she doing on OnlyFans?
Everything.
How hard
everything
are we
under the
getting?
sun.
Like sexually, you mean?
She
Because
didn't fuck anybody, but everything else.
That's nothing then.
nowadays,
I'm
nowadays nobody cares.
I'm out.
I don't mind that.
Really?
I'm out.
I think everyone deserves a chance.
I'm out.
out too.
Been there, done that.
Maybe she needed money.
No, but wait, yours wasn't doing OnlyFans probably. It's just
She was a
probably-
fucking real stripper.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's worse.
Exactly.
So you can do it.
So OnlyFans ain't
I
about
can.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
I
not
want
with her
to.
anymore, so clearly not.
Exactly.
He
No,
tried
because-
it and failed.
No, because the stripper wasn't perfect.
Listen,
and
the
everything
chances
else.
What?
Because it says
Was
that
the
she was
stripper perfect in every other way?
So no.
Yeah.
It's not about being. That was the reason.
Okay.
To be fair, you're a bit old school like that, so it's all right. I get it.
Yeah, I'm not really.
It's 'cause
I'm,
you're-
I'm like, oh, do you know what? Most people are doing OnlyFans, men and women now. Fuck it,
I don't think. I think you guys are the minority.
dude. Like, I
All
reckon.
right, let's
No,
ask
not
here.
nowadays.
Any guys here? Would you date an OnlyFans model?
It used
Former.
to be.
Former.
Used to be.
Okay, fine. Used to be.
Oh, so,
I don't
sorry.
Nope.
Not,
Nope.
no.
We got 3. Nope.
Everybody say no.
We got notes.
I think everyone's trying to.
Straight notes.
Why? They just told me to fuck off about the movie. They're not on my side.
I think everyone's trying to sound a bit proper today.
So, you're saying you would?
If I found out tomorrow Yannicka used to do OnlyFans,
Well, yeah.
No,
at this
no,
point,
no,
fuck.
not 4 years.
No,
into
no,
your
no. That doesn't count. That
I'm not
doesn't
saying
count.
would you dump your fucking wife.
Yeah, the girl that you loved for fucking a long time.
OnlyFans is just
No,
pictures.
I'm saying you just met her today.
It could be videos.
You're out for your first dinner, and she's like, I got to tell you something.
That could be on the internet
I used
forever.
to finger bang myself on
I'd
video.
appreciate her telling me
no.
I'd appreciate her telling me straight away. I'd be like,
Huh?
sweet.
Yeah, you can't-
I'd like
you
that she told me
No.
that day, because then it's out there. She's
Yeah,
told
great,
me.
but then it's
Yeah, but
okay.
it's still out there.
Yeah, but for you it's not. For me,
I'm
I'm
asking
like,
for you. You might,
I don't mind.
but you were sure about it like 2 minutes ago.
No, I wouldn't mind. I don't think.
I'm interested to get some female opinion on this, to
Yeah,
be
what do you guys
honest.
think?
From experience, men obviously would. And I know if you talk about it,
They don't
Yeah.
care.
They don't
Oh,
care.
they don't want it.
They don't want it, yeah.
I don't think these are.
What if a man did it? If you met a guy and he's like, I used to do OnlyFans and it was all sexual, you
No.
No, he just
no, he was by himself.
He was just jerking
No,
off
he's
on
by
fucking
himself.
OnlyFans. No,
He's gonna have gay
There's
fans.
there's no gay stuff in it. He's just like videos of him just jerking off and putting it on his OnlyFans.
If men and women bought it, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's his. Wouldn't bother.
It wouldn't bother you.
I think that would be
I'm
a normal consensus
I'm
for a
on
woman. though.
your side.
Really?
Yeah. We're much more insecure.
Hey, Denise, Denise,
Yeah.
what did you used to do?
So you wouldn't care? You wouldn't care?
No, he cared.
See? Samson knows.
Yeah, I would care for sure.
You would care?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't care.
No,
I
he would
wouldn't, I
care.
wouldn't have children with her. But if I wasn't planning,
date her,
well,
but I wouldn't
that's
have
my kid,
children.
my kid's mom.
Wait, actually, that's probably the most valid argument.
That's a good. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I'd marry her, but I wouldn't have kids with her.
He's such an asshole.
And actually having a
I
kid,
think-
like, that's
Now
I'm
you got to consider that. because that's your
Yeah,
kid's
I
mother.
get that. For
Does
sure.
that mean you would marry her but not have kids?
yes.
If I didn't want to have kids,
So say you already
No,
had
no, I'm
kids
not
and you
saying-
and your wife split up and then you find another girl, but you're like, I'm done having kids. It wouldn't bother you as much then.
I'm sorry. Give me the scenario again.
So let's just put a hypothetical here.
No, he's right.
I'm throwing.
Why do you have to
I
be
don't
so
want to throw
fucking-
Tony under the bus.
I want to just cover all the bases.
You and Tony split up.
Yeah.
Okay. You have kids already, and you're like, I'm done having kids.
Okay.
You meet a girl, you love her, whatever, but you realize she did that. At this point, you're like, well, I don't want any more kids, so you don't really care.
Okay, we're gonna cut this part out though, right? Because I don't know if
No, we're not.
No, look, Tony, you're staying here forever. Oh,
Yeah.
it's okay.
This is just make believe world.
Just
right?
make-believe
Okay.
world.
Then
Let's-
I probably wouldn't care.
You okay?
Yeah, that works because they're not her kids.
Right. Yeah.
That's
So I don't care.
down on-
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not really looking into it that deep.
I don't look at that.
Well, he's
That
already
was
got
like,
kids, so he's got to think
I
about these
look at
things.
it
Yeah,
from
no,
my perspective.
I'm just thinking like if someone comes to me today and they say I used to do this, they could tell me they used to kill people. I'll be like, all right.
You don't do it anymore. You don't do it. But
Just keep it secret.
Is this like
But
the
what-
worst thing ever for me to say that I'd rather they kill people?
You know, if my missus was, if she came to me and she told me she was a fucking a hitman,
Yeah.
All right,
I feel like that's kind of
I got
fucking
one for
badass.
I'd be like,
No, Hitman's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
You meet a girl tomorrow.
yeah,
She's a 10 in every way.
yeah.
But
she banged the whole soccer team at once.
Do you know the soccer team?
That's a lot of sausage.
Do you know them?
That's a lot of sausage.
yeah,
That's a
I'm
bit
trying to
different.
find
we
out where
get
you're
those in Canada.
Yeah,
We call them puck bunnies with
Yeah,
hockey.
I think that's a little bit different because I,
Puck
could
bunnies
just,
is
I
what
would
you
never
call
be able to
them,
go to the supermarket and look at a pack of hot dogs
Exactly.
again.
You
Yeah.
can't hold her hand in
I'd
public.
look at the Frankfurters and I wouldn't be able to.
You're very specific.
I'm just saying.
Why like handholds? So would you kiss her in public? You
No,
just,
nothing in
You
public.
just wouldn't hold
no,
her hand.
No
Okay.
signs of affection in public.
OnlyFans
So
is very
specific.
different than actually getting banged by a whole team.
Yeah.
So you draw
Incredibly
the
different.
line at actual physical connection.
Yes.
Well, gangbang. That's different.
No, okay. What
Yeah,
if
physical connection
what
is
if
the
it
dude.
wasn't
Yeah.
all at once, but just every weekend for like till they were all done?
Till they're all done. 23 people.
Like 23 weekends in a row.
That would probably tell me that they have a little bit of a nymphomaniac.
So you have limits.
Yeah, I have
But,
limits.
but they tell you they're like, no, you know that was my past. I'm ready to settle down now.
That would be
You know,
changed.
that was my whole phase. I'm
if
over
she's
it.
really, really pretty,
Well, she probably was.
if she's like if she's prime Angelina Jolie, I'm like, well,
yeah,
I'm like, cool, love, sweet. I'm just lucky I got you.
I don't think I could do it.
me neither. Yeah,
You know, there's a level of.
I would like
prettiness
to
that-
stay
There's a level
like
of
that. I'm
attraction.
like secure enough to do it, but I'm like, there's no way I would do it.
Why is it a matter of security?
Well, because like that, I think I could like put it behind me or put it past me. If it's like it's the history.
So why is
but-
it a matter of security?
I'll tell you
what
why.
is it? Preference, I guess.
Yeah, preference.
Who,
Yeah.
who to you is the most attractive female in the world, bar your wife?
Rihanna.
Okay, so yeah, so look,
I
if it-
knew
well, if it's
Paul
real-
was going to say a fucking light-skinned black girl. I knew
So-
he was
so
going to
Paul-
say it.
so Paul-
There's no other option.
So Paul,
That's
if
all
it-
he would say.
If it's Rihanna that comes to you and says, "I worked my way through a team, But I'm done with that now, and I want to be
Chris
your
Brown
woman.
did me bad, but
I
like
might date her for a little while, but
Because
I don't think I keep her
there's a
long
level
term.
of attraction that can.
Paul's not married anybody.
See, my problem is like I'd be getting laughed at by other guys.
Yeah.
Because every time I'm with her, somebody got like, oh,
Yeah, but it's only 20 guys.
see, but this is that's what I'm saying.
there's
one night,
eight
though, you're
billion
talking
people on
about,
the planet,
right?
20 guys.
It's only 20 guys.
pride. It's pride. Not
But pride is
insecurity.
based off ego. It's an insecurity.
But you're taking everyone else's leftovers.
Yeah, I look. I'm not disagreeing
Oh,
with
okay,
you.
okay.
That's not how I look at it.
How do you look at it?
I look at it as it says something about you.
About
What?
you?
No, about the girl.
Oh, I agree.
But,
Yeah,
but
that's
she
not
changed,
about-
I thought.
But that's not about insecurity or ego. That's about the preference of the person I want to be with.
But what if they've changed off Fouad?
Sorry? Wait, say that
Well,
again.
it's
If a
different.
man does it, it's fine.
Yeah,
man
that's
can do
right.
whatever they want.
That's different. that's totally different.
He's Arab. What did you expect?
How's the saying go? My key opens every door, but you only have one door, something like that?
Oh no, a key to every lock is.
Every lock is opened by my key.
You're like the master key versus just a shitty lock.
Yeah.
Whatever the fucking saying is.
No, you're allowed to have that. If a girl said, "Hey, I don't
Yeah.
want to fucking bang a guy, be with a guy who's banged like 100 girls," I'd be like, "All right, that's your thing."
Yeah.
I'm not saying like it's everybody's prerogative, right?
Yeah.
So like, that's just mine. It's not an insecurity. It's just like,
No.
Well, listen,
I get it. I was just asking you the question. I'm
Everyone
not
has
saying I
their
disagree.
own. They have their own line, don't they? They
Yeah,
draw
yeah.
a line somewhere.
Yeah.
I do have a line. It's a little bit further down.
I don't
But-
think
but, like,
so.
I also-
It's a little bit further down.
I also
you like,
wouldn't.
I think you like to let people think that.
Yeah.
No, because I'm.
Because the person you're with is very like
Yeah, but
reserved.
I'm not an
and-
overly judgmental person.
No, you're not.
No, but in what she's saying on the other side, if I had banged like 200 girls and a girl asked me and I told her and she's like, I don't want to date someone that did that, I would be like, okay.
Well, you probably tell her 20, though,
honestly, I
wouldn't you?
wouldn't give
Well,
a
I'd
fuck.
probably lie. But,
I don't care about
Six.
what I'm happy with.
but they're lying
in the
too.
moment.
So it's
Right,
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
Like that suits me. It works
Yeah,
for
but
me.
that's
She's
your
a 10.
Right.
Fuck off.
That's
I
your
don't care.
preference, though.
Yeah.
Right. So everybody has their own preference.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, like I couldn't let something block something that could potentially be the best thing ever just because I can't let go of a little bit of the past. That's me. Because if I cared about the past all the time, I'd think to myself, Yannicka goes for a shit 10 times a day and has to wipe her ass. If I thought about the shit that was on her ass all day, I wouldn't be able to fucking live with her.
Really bad.
That's a little
Do you know what I mean?
different. That's a little different,
It's
Jason.
not a bad analogy. The shit exists. The shit exists. It's there every day. But I don't think about it.
That's not a good analogy.
Women poo. But
That would turn Paul off.
Because
yeah.
I'm not focusing on the
Paul
negative.
doesn't think about that at all.
Yeah, no.
You can't, just like James. You just
Your
doesn't think about
wives
it.
they don't do
all
that.
have to go to the shitter and wipe their ass every day, multiple times a day, but you don't think about it.
Multiple
No, you don't
times
think
a
about it
day.
at all.
Multiple times a day. But you don't think about
I don't
it.
know what your wife's doing.
Well,
It's not celiacs.
celiac services.
All right. Paul, can Paul name every country that's part of NATO?
Well, how many is there now?
Wait, let me get it.
There's a
Okay.
new
I
one.
can- I
There
can-
is a
I
new
can
one.
give you the
Ian's gonna
majority.
pull it up.
There's quite a few now. It's like 30 something, isn't it?
I bet he can't name half.
I bet
Well,
you
no,
can.
actually, that's pretty
I bet
easy.
you I can.
Yeah, I can do half.
I think there is a new one.
I got the list right here. Start
Okay, how many is there?
30.
Holy shit.
Half.
Okay, try and get half. Try and get half.
You can
So
name half.
U.S., U.K.
Wait. This list needs to be organized more. I don't even see the U.S. on this.
1 second.
Because right off the top, if it's U.S., I don't see that. We should probably know better than that.
No cheating.
Don't fucking cheat.
I'm not looking. I don't need a cheap Ben. You think I can see that? Look at my glasses.
Okay. So yeah, U.S., U.K. So you got two.
Okay, so U.S., Canada, U.K., Germany, Austria, Australia.
Wait, you're moving too fast. I got to make sure they're on here. Wait, Austria. I don't see Austria and Australia on here. Sorry.
Yeah, I think they're in there.
The only
Okay, well,
country I see is not either of those.
All the European countries.
Nope.
Turkey,
Turkey is correct.
Ireland.
Yeah, that is correct. Wait, no.
bunch
That,
of Soviet-
that would
Soviet
fall in
republics.
with other.
You can't just say a bunch of Soviet republics.
Yeah.
Former Soviet republics. Sweden.
Yeah.
That's the newest one.
Sweden's on there.
How many am I at right now? About 10?
I have no idea.
I think I'm at about 10.
Start over.
I don't want to start over. I can't remember which ones I said already. Canada, U.S., U.K., Germany.
Yeah, you
You
got
said
all those.
those already.
Well, you said to start over again.
Oh.
No, I forget what I said now.
You got three
Sweden.
that start with L's.
Latvia,
Okay.
Lithuania.
Yep. You're never gonna get this last one.
No. I'll move on. Give me a different letter.
You have 4 that start with S. You have one of them already.
Yeah, it's Sweden, right?
Yeah.
Switzerland?
No.
Slovakia?
Yep. He's just naming S countries now.
Yeah,
you failed.
Wait. But a company did just join NATO the other day, and I can't remember who it was.
I have a more important question to ask you, James.
Oh, not me.
Do you dry your balls
Do I dry them up all the time?
after the shower?
I like to.
Of course he does.
You dry your ass crack.
Okay, but how much time do you spend doing that?
He doesn't dry his ass crack.
Or his
At-
balls.
At all. Not like a little bit, but zero.
No, he just gets out and just.
I wash it. Pardon? Oh, of course I wash
So
it.
we had this conversation the other night, and he
Well,
says
we've had
to
it a
me,
few times. Yeah.
he says to me, we were talking about drying habits,
Yeah.
and he said, I don't dry my ass. I said, you have a hairy back, so for sure you have a hairy ass.
He says he doesn't have any hair on his ass.
And he
Well,
says
you're
he
a
does-
fucking liar.
He said I trim it, which is for sure bullshit.
Yeah.
I told you how I do it.
So, and then he says, he gets out of the shower, doesn't dry his ass, and then just puts on his boxers. And I'm like, your boxers have to be wet.
I dry the cheek.
Yeah,
But
but you got to dry the valley.
No,
He
I
doesn't dry
don't.
it.
I don't. My ass ain't that big either. So it's not like I got a bunch of water pools in there. I just.
He's got a hairy ass. He says it's not wet.
Dude, I get out of the shower, and I dry it, and then I even double dry it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Like what?
yeah.
You
I
get a
dry
towel.
once from the right and then once from the
You
left.
guys get a towel raining your
Sometimes I get
Yeah, man.
I don't.
Sometimes
But
I
why don't you anyway?
You're the only person who
Because
doesn't.
it dries on its own.
It doesn't dry on its own.
Okay, wait.
dry on its own.
Every single man here, when you get out of the shower, do you dry your balls and your ass? Every single one. If you don't, it's okay because Paul doesn't too. So don't be ashamed. You might feel the need to join the bandwagon, but it's okay.
I'll give the boys a quick wipe, but I don't.
You're adding to it
I
now.
don't go between the cheeks.
I don't know, Paul.
I'd feel strange.
You're definitely in a vast
I would feel
minority
strange
here.
with that
I don't have wet
dampness.
pants when I put them on, right?
But I will say this, I know a lot of you guys like baby wipes for your butt. I don't like baby wipes on the arse. No, I don't like wet shit touching my arse.
Ben
I'm a
travels with this shit.
big wipe. I'm a big wet wipe guy.
No, I don't like that.
You can't flush those anyways. So I don't.
You can get flushable.
You get
ones.
flushable
Yeah,
ones.
for
They
sure.
say flushable, but they're not. No.
I just don't like
Clog
something
up
cold
the
and
whole
damp.
time.
You're a shit system.
All right, I got a question for Paul. For Paul, you're stuck in a cabin for 2 weeks only.
Yep. With only ribs and wings to eat.
Thing you can eat are ribs and soup. For your information, there are no napkins, so you can't wipe your hands or tuck it into your shirt collar. What are you choosing?
So I got to pick between ribs and soup.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks.
And chicken wings. We'll throw chicken wings.
What kind of soup?
I know, right? That'd be fucking awesome.
What kind of soup?
Chicken noodle soup.
Whatever soup you
I
want.
would go for as long as it had some
Okay.
meat in it. I would go for the
Then
soup.
we're just
then.
going for like a straight tomato soup.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you the bowl the other day.
Delicious.
Oh, it's gross. No, I'd have to go with the ribs then. There's
ribs?
no way I could survive for 2 weeks on tomato soup.
How long would it take you to eat the first set of ribs? Like how
No
long would you
utensils?
starve for before you were
No
like...
utensils. You have to.
No,
eat
no,
them
no. I
with your
mean,
hands.
like, how long would you like not eat before you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna eat it?
Okay, but I have to know what kind of ribs first. Like, are they like a lot of meat
No,
on them, or
they're
like the
not.
little
There's
shitty
only-
ones?
there's only
The little shitty ones.
There's
Right?
a lot of tendons and stuff.
Oh,
Pre-frozen shit ones.
yeah, frozen ribs.
It's just sauce and bone
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fat, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tendons.
And tendons, connective tissue.
Connective tissue. yeah.
Connective tissue, yeah.
Mechanically
I would-
bristle.
I would probably nibble on them every few minutes, but I would definitely not eat the whole thing.
Samson, have you heard this? He doesn't eat. He doesn't eat anything on a bone.
What?
He won't eat ribs. He won't eat
soup.
wings, and he hates soup.
No, I don't eat soup. Soup is when you're sick or old. I don't eat soup. I don't.
But we also realized last night with Ron Parlow, this
Yeah,
is
I'm not
not
the only
an
one.
abnormal affliction.
Oh, is he the
So
same?
I think there's probably other
I
people.
know other people that
think
don't
about
eat
that.
meat on the bone.
Yeah.
Soup thing's weird.
Soup's a little weird.
I prefer me on the bone.
Yeah,
It's better. It's more tender for sure.
there are a lot of non.
It's more inconvenience, but it is tastier.
But there's all that shit connective stuff that's
I don't know what the fuck you're eating. I've never experienced that.
maybe not so much on ribs, but on wings for sure. You get,
I
like,
ate
little
wings.
tendon
I ate
and
wings
stuff.
2 days ago, and
So
they
you
were
hate
zero.
soup that much? You
And they were
eat the
shitty
ribs?
British wings too.
Well, if it had meat, if it was the kind of soup that had like meat
it's
noodles
just
in
a
it,
broth. No, it's just a broth.
no. What's the point of that? No.
What if it was like cream of mushroom or something?
I would use that as like a sauce on top of my pasta or something, but
On
I
top of
wouldn't
your
eat it on
wings?
its own.
Would you
no,
dip
not
your
on top
wings
of
in
wings.
it?
Oh, that's
Well, if
Or
I
your
had
ribs?
to eat the wings to make them
Your
taste
ribs?
better, I might. But I wouldn't.
I like a nice like ham and leek.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
What's leek?
Leek's a
leek.
vegetable. That's
Yeah.
like a green.
Vegetable.
Okay. I don't like ham too much though.
Oh my
I
god.
don't eat it.
This question is
I'll
for.
eat it, but it's not my
What
huge
do
on it.
you like, bro?
I like chicken. I like steak.
He's a typical.
Just chicken breast.
Just chicken.
I love chicken breast. Yeah,
I like chicken.
I eat at least.
Boring part of chicken.
I eat about 2 to 3 chicken breasts a day.
Do you like chicken thighs?
No.
I hate chicken.
Chicken thighs are way better than chicken breasts.
I marinate my
Wait,
chicken
wait,
breasts.
wait.
They're juicy.
This guy likes chicken
They're
breast
terrible.
and vanilla
No.
ice cream.
Chicken breast and vanilla ice cream.
Boring straight up.
It's just sweet enough.
You're
that-
vanilla.
I'm not vanilla.
We had this conversation.
Yeah, we did talk about this, but it's the color of the white.
Okay,
So
wait.
vanilla.
For people
Not
out
white
here,
nut.
when someone says the saying that like refers to something as being vanilla, are they
Plain.
referring to it being plain as because it's the color white, or boring in that it's because vanilla is a boring flavor?
It's debatable.
Thank you.
It does
Not
mean.
debatable.
It's debatable.
It's not. It's literally not debatable.
It means
you,
you're
if
like
we're in a
you're the
different
guy that plays
country,
the
you
safe
have a
football.
different
We
set of
actually
answers.
even Googled it, and Google had a very straight answer. It's because of the boring flavor.
But that's
Yeah.
the AI
I have
thing,
friends
you know.
like that. They literally just cook spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah.
That's the vanilla type of
It's
person.
vanilla. You're vanilla.
James,
Yeah.
is it gay if you enjoy your wife pegging you?
No, come on, not even a little bit.
I'm not into that though.
That's not the question.
I've never. Yeah. I don't,
not the question.
Is it? The sensation's a bit gay.
Yeah, if you
How?
like being entered, you're
Well,
gay.
it's an anal probing, and if you like anal probing,
not really gay.
then
It's gay.
Look, that's where you're.
I've always said one of my best mates is kind of into it, and I've always
It's
said it's a
only
bit
gay
It's
if
a
you're
bit
fantasizing a man fucking you in the
If
ass while
you're
you're doing
being
it.
entered, you're gay.
No.
Well, that's kind of how I.
Look, I'm not into this like James, but I don't agree at all here.
No straight male wants anything inside them.
I completely disagree.
I agree with Paul.
Thank you,
I
Samson.
agree with Paul with
Thank you,
that one.
Samson. Real men. Real men.
Look, but even
I'm
if
not
you-
saying anything. I'm
See,
just-
see, even if you didn't want it and you think it's like you're not into it, you can't say it's gay.
I can. Because
You can't.
that's not.
It
that's
doesn't
not
make
an
any
erogenous
sense. It
zone.
doesn't make any sense though.
That's
It is
not
an
an
ero- it
erogenous
is
zone
an
on a
ero-
man. It's not.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
I don't
It's-
think it is.
It's
Yes,
the,
it is.
one of the
Uranus
most.
is one of the most erogenous zones.
Yeah.
Wait,
In a sexual way?
Yes.
100%.
What do you think erogenous means?
To get pounded? That's not. That's not.
Wait, what were we saying? What were we saying?
I heard of that, but I never want to try it. I don't want
Look,
to
I
figure it out.
don't want to try it either.
It's almost like, yeah, okay.
No, no,
fine.
I'm not saying
I
you
don't-
want to try it or not try it. I'm saying you
That's not
can't-
the debate.
you
I'm
can't
not saying
say
I want to either.
objectively it's not an erogenous zone because it is.
You know
There's
the
other
problem.
ways
The problem.
to have pleasure from a man. If
But
that's
you know
the
the
way you
problem-
choose to
no
have
one's
pleasure.
saying that.
Paul.
Nothing
I think,
to do
like,
with a man.
The problem
There's
with
nothing
it
to
is
do with
it could
men.
escalate, couldn't it? It could become something it shouldn't.
That's
so listen, you
So
start
Paul's
off,
worried that he
yeah,
might
it
like
starts
it.
off with a
No,
pig,
no.
yeah, and then it turns into a
Starts off
cock.
with a toy and you're like,
and then you're like calling, then you're calling one of your mates to come round and
Well, then, yeah, then you're definitely into gay territory. But
you
but
make
like
them
you
feel
said
a little bit
earlier,
attractive.
but if a prime Angelina Jolie is putting on the strap on, she's like, I want to give it to you.
I still don't think I'd want to get
I
strapped
wouldn't
on.
let
though.
her. I'm not getting
Would you let her?
that. No, I'm not letting anybody pound
I'm
on me
not
like that.
I would much, like if I'm thinking of prime Angelina, I would much rather play with her vagina than her play with my arse.
Well, we all
That's
would.
not
But
the
if
question.
she's like, I'll
She's
let you
like,
do that if you let me do
yeah,
this.
I'm only going to do it if
Oh,
you
that's
let
a
me
bit
do
of a
this.
tough one, isn't it? Because I got to like.
She won't pound you. She'll be gentle.
Oh, it's gonna hurt.
I just think once you cross that line, you're gonna wonder.
Might feel great.
It's a slippery slope.
You don't know.
think so.
You're gonna wonder.
I don't think
You're gonna be
so.
like, well, I kind of.
I completely
It's a
disagree.
gateway.
I don't think so at all.
No.
Dude, it'll be.
Not
Look,
saying I wanna
you'll-
But
do
the
it.
thing is, wait, you're almost like confirming your own bias here, because if you think that you would start to wonder, well, then you're probably gay.
Because well,
Because like I know if I had a girl,
Probably like halfway there.
if I had a girl
I'll
fuck me in the
probably
ass,
scared
I'm just
down
like
the
it's just a
road.
girl fucking me in the ass. There's nothing to do with men here.
I'm
you know?
probably very close to the edge, and I'm just worried.
Well, yeah,
You're
I am
teetering.
too, but it's okay.
But like, you know, the things that you're gonna put in your bum
Yes.
are they are a copy of a male.
They don't have to be.
Yes.
but it's
Yes.
yeah, but that's like saying. I
Look,
feel
what's
it
it like
feels
saying?
weird talking about the show.
No,
people
what's
hear
it like? What's it like saying?
No, it's great. Yeah.
That's like saying if you have anal sex, that also means you're gay.
No, it's a female you're having it with.
Yeah, but it feels like a man's. It's like,
It's attached to a woman.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if
It's the exact same thing.
so if
It's
the
literally the
dildo
exact
is
same
attached
thing.
to a woman.
Try it.
You're just flip flopping it.
It probably
Just
feels
let
amazing.
Yannicka try it. See, maybe you'll like it.
She's too prude, mate. She can't get
Next
nowhere with
podcast,
that.
we'll talk about
So
it.
what did you decide? Is it gay?
I think it is, yes. If
Why?
you like being entered as a man, I think
Why?
that's... Why? Because you're being entered by something.
But you're being entered by a
It's
woman.
the end.
A
by
woman,
a
with a woman with a penis-like object that's
Yeah, but it's a
entering
woman.
you. But who's got a penis-like
But it's
object?
a woman.
A woman doesn't have a
so
penis.
is it gay if you bang a girl in the ass?
Yeah,
No, that's a female you're banging.
Yeah, but it's a girl.
It's a
with
girl
penis.
banging you.
Yeah, but you look like it's different.
Why?
Why?
Because the
Why?
stuff around it's different.
Hold on,
You
no,
look at
no.
a cock and balls.
What,
No,
what,
it's
what
not.
if the object was shaped like a hand or a finger?
Yeah. What if she put her fingers
A
in your butt?
female's finger.
Female's finger. There you
A
go.
delicate
Oh,
female
wow.
hand.
I just...
So
What if she put her finger in your butt?
Yeah, well, is your wife putting her
Wait,
fingers
wait,
up your
wait.
ass?
What if she put a finger in your butt?
I wouldn't like that.
Well, if you did like
Yeah, but
it,
would it be gay? Would it be
I
gay?
think you have gay tendencies, yes.
I can't even rationalize this in my brain.
I think
it's not natural for man to enter.
Yeah, I think if you're
Yeah, but if you're doing
How
it
is
with
it not
another
natural?
man, then you could say there's
not supposed to be
homosexual
entered.
tendencies.
How is it not natural?
It's not supposed to be
But it's an erogenous zone.
It's not an
I think the
erogenous zone, I don't
likelihood
think.
of it.
It is an erogenous zone.
What do you, how you figure that?
Watch.
Paul,
figure that.
Paul, I reckon in that situation, let's say someone likes getting pegged. Let's say they get intoxicated, and then a mate offers. I think they're the likely person to then
No,
say
the
yes.
straight
I
man
agree
says
with you.
no.
Do you think? I think the straight man goes, yeah.
I'm not even slightly worried that if one of my
Okay,
bros
you
is
ready?
just like, hey,
Are
you
you
want me
ready?
to fuck you in the
Yeah,
ass? I'm going to
let's
say
hear it.
yes.
I'm gonna fuck
I'm
you
not
in the
worried about
ass.
it. I'm literally never worried.
Are you ready?
I've never been
let's hear
worried.
For males, erogenous zones
But if I was
consist-
drunk and Melissa asked, I'd probably say yes.
Yeah.
Erogenous zones consist of the glands.
By 41. That's
the
also my
glands,
wife.
The penis itself, along with the scrotum, the perineum,
And the prostate.
which is the
What's the
chota,
perineum?
Chota.
and the anus.
Yeah.
Sorry, say it again. I didn't hear all that.
I have no
You
doubt
heard it.
it
You
feels
heard
No,
it.
I didn't hear all that. I want to hear it again,
I
please.
said, and the anus
Is what?
is a part of the erogenous zone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but you have all these other
but-
choices. You're going to pick that one?
Yeah, that's not the point.
It's
It
not
is
the
one.
point. Yeah.
Hey, it's a buffet.
But to
You can
get
try
to it-
everything.
Yeah.
You got to do a gay act.
What if you're getting all three zones at once?
Pardon?
That must be crazy.
What if you're getting
good.
all three zones at once?
You don't need all that.
You
don't
probably
need
wouldn't be
get
able to
all
cut- you
three.
wouldn't be able to
Nobody
cut.
needs it, but what if you are?
So
Paul would have a heart attack.
Yeah, you would.
Paul would have a fucking stroke. You wouldn't know what to do. It's too much.
I've never felt all three at once.
I definitely have a
I
panic
can't
attack.
handle it.
I think,
I
definitely have a panic attack.
I think an addiction would surface from that.
Maybe, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Let's see. What's worse? No. Anybody have any questions before we go?
Here we go.
Well, a guy named Bumstead might be coming out of, might be switching to open.
Do his
matchup.
men's open debut.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody. It's only for this audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we've kind of already announced everything. We have Vito's doing the show, which might be crazy. James has discussed possibly coming.
Martin.
Martin Fitzwater. We have Justin Rodriguez. I think Mo Shaban was supposed to do it, but he might be taking the year off now.
William Martin.
William
William
mine.
Martin's
Yeah,
looks really good right now.
He looks really good.
I know.
William Martins might be doing the show. Anyway, it's going to be a really good show. We got a. The biggest thing for us is we're trying to do it in a theater with good lighting, good backdrop, and like really hold kind of a prestigious event. We're going to do a live stream. I don't know if there's going to be commentary yet, but we'll have a live stream.
I'm going to
anyway.
commentate it.
Maybe Ian will commentate for the first time, see how he does.
Yeah.
And then we also
I just
have
gave
a
myself
meet
that job.
and greet portion of it at the expo, which will be awesome because we have Samson coming. I think Sam's coming. Ian, Mike Van Wyck. So we have a bunch of guys coming that are going to meet and greet with people as well. So it's going to be a good show. We still have a lot of work to do. I just realized it's 4 weeks away. I thought it was 8.
Yeah,
So-
man.
He hasn't done anything.
I'm
Literally
like,
nothing.
We haven't done anything yet, so it's kind of buckled down a little bit.
Put the show together
When
in
you
4
get
weeks
back
here.
home, sort out.
For Fouad and Ian, I know you support the military and veterans, but would you ever
Did
do
we
an
ever talk about
event and meet the veterans, train with them, a USO type thing? I do it in a heartbeat.
Sorry. When we do a what?
Meet the veterans.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
Why the rest of us not invited? Why is it Ian? And
Okay.
Fouad?
Last
We're
question.
obviously clearly more supportive towards these people than you are.
Last question. Donnie, you can't listen to this.
Ben.
If it was more socially accepted, would you have multiple wives?
No, more problems.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
it's a
I
big
think
headache.
One's enough,
Samson,
Fred. One's work enough.
Samson and Ben said no, so you guys are. Oh, okay, good.
Wait, if I got a second wife, she'd be buried real fucking quick by that lady over there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not going to work.
Would you?
No. Well, if I could have one that like could just be for like utilitarian purposes. You know?
Well, you can kind of assign them duties.
You'd be like an assistant.
So if I start fucking her, there's going to be problems. You know?
Yeah.
So.
I would like to have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You like to have multiple wives?
If it was socially
You're Arab, though.
acceptable.
We
Yeah,
expect
we're
no
cultural,
less.
though. It's cultural for you, Fred.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's part of my culture.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to have 4 wives.
I don't think
Six
there's-
wives. I want 7 wives. 8 wives. More
I'm allowed to
wives.
have 4 wives.
I don't think there'll be enough time
You
in the
cook me
day.
dinner. You get in the bed. You join.
Your Arab accent gets worse every week.
My Arab accent's
Gets
pretty
harsher
good,
and
right?
I know you've been an Arab, yeah. So it's
See? He knew what I'm doing.
I know.
You know?
Imagine having to like dissect your time into multiple wives, though.
Oh, it would be impossible. It'd be so hard.
It'd be very difficult.
You think it would be hard?
I don't even
What? To have multiple wives?
I feel like I
It
don't.
depends.
Yeah, I feel like
it
I don't
depends
give
which
enough
way
time.
you're gonna do. If you're gonna be like the guys that do have 8 wives, where they like don't talk to any of them,
Yeah.
then that's fine.
That's what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like a totally different dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
talking
more like
about, like,
just, that's more like
the-
mates.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
like the sheiks in like Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that would obviously be fucking awesome.
They
but,
just
like,
give them money. And,
If
like,
you could just like pick favorites
sure.
and like do around, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I guess.
I mean, it's not different than like an NBA player.
It's kind of
It's very true.
They have like a wife and like 5 fucking girlfriends.
Yeah.
It's very true. This is very
And
true.
most of the times the wives like kind of know
And they
about
already
it, but they
kinda
like
know,
they
yeah.
deal with
They'll
it.
go
you
shopping
know?
together anyway.
I get my life paid for. I fucking deal with
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Like my fucking husband makes $20 million a year.
Yeah.
I'll put up with a fucking
Yeah.
extra wife or two. Could you put up with an extra wife or two for 20? No.
No.
No, they wouldn't do it.
Most women would probably say that.
You
Yeah.
think so?
Would
you if you're
Until it's happening.
Until they got 20
Until it's
million.
happening.
Wait,
Yeah.
if you were a woman and you were dating Tom Brady, and Tom Brady said, you know what, actually, let's just do this for men. Let's say you're dating Angelina Jolie, and she's obviously a multi-millionaire. She's like, James,
Fuck everybody you
you're
want.
married, but I'm going to fuck somebody every month.
Two questions. Do we get to join in?
Nope. Nope. They're gonna be on vacation somewhere.
Do we get to watch?
Nope.
No.
You get nothing.
Listen,
At least gotta watch.
if I wasn't in my relationship and I'm not really like that fussed and looking for one, then I'll take that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Well, that's important.
This
Because
is
I'll be like, this is cool because it's kind of
This is your new relationship. You're married to Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
taking care of you financially for
yeah,
the
but I
rest
don't
of your
want
life.
to. I feel like a bit of a. I like to earn my own money.
Yeah.
What? I like to own my own money.
No, I tell you,
No,
I
no,
take
no.
that deal in a heartbeat.
I'd be like,
I'll
go
take
ahead.
it.
It's cool.
I'd take it. I wouldn't even think about it. I'd be like, yep, cool. You can fuck everyone you want every day. I don't care. It's all good.
Listen, in truth, if that was thrown upon any
If
of
I didn't
us,
have to work another day of my life, do nothing, I'm financially supported, live in the house,
And you get to bed
drive the
right.
cars, have the fucking do whatever you want.
I wonder if you'd ever feel like it's a shallow existence. Probably not, because you'll probably be so occupied by being rich.
I'd probably have a real girlfriend somewhere
Yeah,
else.
you'd probably have enough
She
one
could get
anyway.
there.
So I'd probably accept it as
What if
well.
you weren't? What if you weren't on a real girlfriend? What would you do?
You have to stay.
Is she okay with that?
This comes down to whether you're emotional or not.
Hit back if you got cool.
So she.
I wouldn't risk
she's
it.
allowed to
I
have
wouldn't risk it.
boyfriends, and I'm not.
You're not allowed to have it.
Yeah, but you still get to fuck Angelina Jolie.
How rich are we talking? Yep.
As much money as you'd ever want in your
Yeah,
life.
she's rich as
You want to go buy a car?
Okay, we're
Buy.
assuming that this is like a life, like a different life.
We're assuming
Of
that
course,
you-
Paul.
Okay, make believe. Okay. Well, I just gotta
Tony,
make sure,
this
you
is
know,
not real.
Yeah,
It's
start
false.
from scratch.
Then, yeah, I'd be fine with that. Absolutely, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
huge, and I just hang out all day by the pool.
Think
You
of
have
how
a
much,
lot of spare
think of how
time
much
as well.
GH you could buy.
Oh,
you know?
man. I would have
My
been pro
God.
for sure.
Limitless.
All right. We're gonna wrap there. Thank you everybody for hanging out
Yeah, cheers
and
for hanging out,
watching.
guys.
Any deep?
Is there any questions before we go? Last questions?
Where's
no?
the good food?
No. Okay, one more. What does Paul think of the British weather?
Fucking sucks out here, man. I haven't seen the sun more than like for about 30 minutes the whole time I've been here. It's always gray skies. It's kind of mild, but it's always gray skies
Very
and rain.
depressing.
I would be depressed. I'm sorry, but I'd be depressed by this year, I think. You guys are probably all low in vitamin D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
A proper McDonald's.
The McDonald's here is probably better.
Yeah, it is better. It is better.
I will say that. The
It is
McDonald's here
better.
is probably better. I haven't, but I know
But
that
it
you're.
is
But I know that
better.
you're.
I tell you.
I know that your health
I can eat that right now. I'm down.
stronger than the ones in the U.S.
I'm on that.
We go.
All right.
Our McDonald's more classy as well.
Yeah, we'll go right now.
Go right now.
We'll have a proper McDonald's dinner.
We can add it to the. We can add it to the podcast.
Yeah.
We
We're
definitely
going
need
to the UK McDonald's.
Okay, everybody. Thank you for hanging out.
I love
Everybody
nuggets.
watching on
Oh, we
YouTube.
can
Thank
do
you
the
for
nugget off.
watching.
Nugget off.
Nugget
Is
off.
this live right
What?
now?
Do the nugget off.
The nugget. Oh, the nugget off.
Nugget off.
He said he could eat 177 nuggets.
Oh, yeah.
I might have a heart attack.
Nugget off. There's McDonald's. There's
All right, we're gonna go do the nugget off.
McDonald's.
There's no time like the present.
All right, thank you everybody for watching. We're gonna wrap there.
Show as well.